beach.
Oh, God.
Until 2 p.m.
Grandma.
Pacific.
Well, thank you so
can't-
much for helping Grandma, little friend.
Grandma, what are you saying? Where did you learn that?
If I was hungry,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like I am hungry, and I kind of feel like each of you would fit in my mouth, so I'm probably just gonna eat you. But that just seems.
I mean, no. I mean, like, what else do you want to eat besides me?
That's it. I'm gonna blast them.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And I'm gonna start with Miss Doubtfire over here.
Roll for initiative, please.
Son of a bitch! There is no way I can...
Weakened by the extra-dimensional force of the Akashic Field, this final attack strikes the Kraken, and it slumps, reeling in its defeat, slowly dissolving from this reality, banished back to the phantom realms from which it once came.
I'm gonna give a huge thumbs up to the kaiju. Good job!
Oh, I'm glad you're cheering on your pet, Haruka.
No! Hell,
As it-
I don't give a shit about him!
Well,
As
now
the
you're
Kraken
dead.
disapparates,
Damn.
the kaiju looks over at you and in a deep rumbling voice as it too begins to fade from this reality in this current form.
I'm gonna wave at him.
Be good.
He tells us to be good!
Oh,
Bye,
Kaiju!
thank you for fighting with us.
Big turtle man.
For seekers, and magic dampens sound in these quarters, quieting boisterous visitors and heavy snoring.
And other things. I mean,
And other
we're all
things.
thinking it.
Are we though? Are
mean-
we?
These cheeks don't clap themselves. Just saying.
Colonel,
I've been feeling
I'm trying to sneak
right,
around,
baby.
but I'm dummy thick. The clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards. All right, so do you guys just want to spend the night and then get breakfast and do this thing?
Please,
Yeah,
God,
let's go.
yes.
Yeah.
Release me from this hell.
I want to cast my magical chancla.
Who's getting it?
Who's gonna get it? I'm
There's
gonna
all
throw it
these-
like
all
a
these
boomerang.
posse
It's gonna
folks.
hit everybody.
All right, as soon as one of them makes their saving throw, it stops boomeranging. The worm pulls a sandal from apparently nowhere,
Yes.
and it whispers with the ancient power of countless abuelas who are very
Coño,
unhappy.
carajo, coño, gran puta mierda, coño. Yes.
Go ahead and click on La Chancla. It's going to start at the top, and as soon as one of them makes their save, it'll stop. The last thing you hear as you make your way over is Milo yelling at the piano player in the corner. Asarak, I swear to God, if you play Megalovania one more time, I'm going to shove your phylactery so far up Tiamat's cooch, they're going to call it the Womb of Horrors. And then the door closes behind you. All right, so your armor's broken,
Awesome.
you're exerted, you're in the middle of a pile of enemies. It is now your side's turn. How would everybody like to act? Mr. Sir Thomas automatically moves over to Zone 8.
I need to keep taming, or
I'd
I'm gonna
like to
die.
use my turn to give an encourage advantage to Lemon with some inspiring bardic words.
All right, I don't
Oh.
think that is how this works, but it's a
It's
time-honored
bardic
tradition, so
inspiration.
yes, bardic
What else can a
inspiration.
fucking bard do?
Always bardic inspiration. It's always valid.
That's a coin
alright.
to your
You have a
farm.
bow!
Tamer, you've got this. These wolves you'll dismiss. With treats and some kibble, you'll leave them remiss.
What?
You're gonna do great!
Hi.
Okay, describe this devil's fate at the claws of Slobber Chops.
He gets like whipped around, lands on his head, still like conscious and alive. Slobs just starts like going at his ass, just like and just disembowels him.
Oh.
Like, I imagine the camera pans away and you hear a sound like a wood chipper. And you just gore spewing off to the side. It's like somewhat, discretionary shot, but everybody
His
knows
legs
it's
are like,
And then
"Gah!"
Slobberchops' face comes up into the screen, covered in gore, and it just does the one lick, the one like aggressive face lick. Yep.
I hate exactly what it is. I hate everything I stand for.
Burning yellow eyes on a younger demonic visage. And this transformed being turns. And, well, I suppose if we're going to deal with this creature, maybe another one of your kin will join you as well.
I like
What the?
this
You're
guy.
not old?
I think he needs a job.
Oh, please.
Oh no, he's hot.
Oh my god, there's 2 boobies now?
I think we'd get along just nicely, you and I.
That's the normal number, actually.
Oh, yes, you and me, we'll talk later. But for now, let's see what we can do about this ill-smelling
Okay.
piece of shite.
Roll for initiative.
Yes.
Think so.
Oh my god! It's hot! Oh, I'm gonna stop you so... Oh, it's so hot! I don't like this at all!
Genuinely scared.
Genuinely what?
scared.
My apologies.
Wait a minute. You gotta sing a little song.
Yeah.
I gotta sing a song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heal me. Your
Oh,
magic words.
It's in the player. It's in the player's handbook.
it is?
It is
Yeah,
required.
bored.
Yeah, it's required.
Right, okay. Does the player handbook have a handy list of pre-made song? Okay, no, okay, so,
No.
Written on your heart.
Yeah.
Oh, I do love to see a worm at full health. It does make me feel very good. I love to see the worm at full health. Let's just see if the worm can get to full health. Hey, don't kill me,
I regret
guys, please.
everything.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and come out and say that it doesn't actually say that in the player's handbook.
You guys
so
messed
you
with
can go
me.
ahead.
I just want to
Find
hear
this
get that-
guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do
Perception, you
better.
said?
Perception. 22.
Oh.
There
All
we
right.
go.
I'm gonna go ahead and simulate what happens here real quick.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Shiver me timbers!
Well, yeah.
Oh, shit. Alright, I think it's time to go check on Deadeye then, eh?
And now you're alone, just like me.
Get voided, moron.
Oh,
Does-
excellent drawing.
Can anyone read these runes?
I don't speak primordial.
Grandpa, you're back!
Oh, this guy.
Oh, goodness. We did it. Thank you all so much for helping. We saved most of Bonnie Springs. That's all I ever wanted out of this.
Do you mind if I keep you in a jar, Grandpa?
Huh?
Would that keep me from having to go back to the screaming, endless hellhole of torture?
Yeah, you'd be my pet forever.
It would be an honor.
I proceed to go up to Grandpa and I scoop him up and I scoop his essence into my magical
Hell
little
would have
jar.
been better, my friend.
Whee!
What the? Shh, don't tell him that.
You may add 1 grandpa to your inventory.
I now own a Grandpa.
Gosh.
Golly gee willikers, welcome back to Coriander Society Adventures. I'm Tormented by Gnomes, your humble host. And joining me we have the Daring Drosy, the Beatific Beatdown, and the Laconic Lafon. Welcome!
Josie, how's it going?
Yeah. Sun's out.
Guns out.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm finally not sick anymore. Yeah.
Things are going well, and I therefore am uncertain how to handle the situation.
I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Mm-hmm. Beat down, what's going on with you?
Just been watching The Good Wife nonstop for the past couple of weeks. It's actually a really good show. Except how flippant they are with infidelity. But also, that's very common in lawyers, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
points for realism, I guess.
And Lafon, what's going on?
A lot, actually. Speaking of TV shows and/or later, so that's gonna be fun. But also, still can't talk about it, so we'll have to hear about it later.
Me when I bait the audience. Come on, man.
It's 2 weeks in a row now. Find out how many more times I can do it before they just like come call it.
Can Lafon possibly milk this bit for a third week? Tune in!
I broke your spoilers. Sorry, GM.
When last we left our heroes, Delaris and Yasmeen made their way through the Obsidian Tower, accompanied by Boignis Kimzabin, Medwithin, Zomkug, Tenkobel. Yeah, 4. Those 4 people from the world of Pyrespace. Their ongoing mission is to stop the Illithid invasion of Pyrespace, which is now happening in something like, 4.5 months. It's written down somewhere. So yeah, there's an actual number. I just did not look at it before I started. They have traveled here to the planet Yord, the city Northport, to consult with Gastone. They know the location of the ancient Illithid capital, where lies a powerful weapon, the Annulus, which they can use to destroy elder brains and wreak havoc upon the Illithids on the Forge. In their quest, as they are preparing for their journey to the planet Lacunas, with Boignis Kinsman's assistance, and the portal that just happens to be kept in Edelvina's basement, they're spending some time seeing the local sites in Northport. Their travels today have taken them to the Donahue Academy, where gifted youngsters who are marked by magic, not mutations, train in the use of their superheroic powers. They currently stand in the office of the headmistress, Hara, a stern woman of indeterminate age and silver countenance, flashing glasses behind which lurk storm gray eyes. Though I don't know if Yasmeen has communicated it to Delaris yet, Yasmeen and Gastone are both aware of the fact that Hara is in fact a dragon. She simply wears human guise. He has had words with the party, and Delaris specifically requested to see one of the students here, Doris Hampton, who is a movie star. Yeah, last I recall, Drosy made some comment about 2 obstinate foxes, Anonymous and then Hara, and I was like, all right, get out of here, go home. You have noticed you've noticed some tension between Medwithin and Hara. There's obviously history here, and it's nothing as surface level as a love triangle. It's much, much deeper than that. Hara has spoken a little bit about ways that you can get to Lacunas, so you already have a way in via Boignis Kimzaben. She's commented that Lawrence Booker Green, a mysterious individual in town, is probably the most powerful spellcaster in Northport and has the ability to cast Plane Shift, which can get you from here to there. You've learned that she clearly traveled with John for a while and has mixed feelings towards him. Definitely willing to make fun of him, but it's, again, more complicated than that. She protects this academy and the students here with her life. There are untold depths, but I don't know if plumbing them... No, Drosy. No, bad Drosy. I don't know if plumbing them is your current objective. Did you have anything else that you wished to say to Hara or do while you're in her office?
What was the movie star's name again?
Doris.
Yeah,
Doris
did
Hampton.
we get to see Doris already?
You haven't seen her yet, but Hara knows about your request and is making the arrangements.
Then no. I think I'm good personally.
Yasmeen, Dolores, you're all set. You're all good.
Oh, I antagonized the woman multiple times. I'm good.
Excellent. Mission accomplished. All right then.
I'm gonna turn to De La Reese as we kind of walk out of the doorway. Not really within earshot of Hara, but like not like far enough away that I don't intend for her to hear it. Put it that way. I can't lie. I'm kind of surprised that people still talk to me. I do say some mean things from time to time just because it's funny.
Yes, but you're rather charming otherwise.
I'll take it. And I saw that, by the way.
You're meant to.
Actually, as I kind of like throw that barb to Gastone, I am going to kind of make a small note of the things I learned about Hara, and I'm going to send it to De La Reese. Though I might leave out the... I don't know that I would... I think I would couch in the fact that she is obviously more than she seems. I don't think I'm going to mention that dragon is the aspect that is being hidden. Let's try and not get De La Reese too interested.
One thing I didn't tell you, because I just kind of led with the whole dragon thing, is that she is a powerful and accomplished sorceress. She wields the power of the storm, but she also has a strange second well of power, something that didn't originally belong to her, that she's absorbed, that has significantly expanded her arcane reservoir and knowledge.
Was Gastone there for that? That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yes, I believe he was. Anyways, barring anything else, Dolores, this information has now been made available to you. She's more than meets the eye. She's a powerful storm sorceress, and she has some weird extra source of magical power. As you exit, Medwithin sort of straightens herself and kind of clears her head to get rid of the discomfort she most recently experienced.
Can I... Medwithin's an extremely accomplished spellcaster in her own right. Was she reacting in any
noticeable way?
Any noticeably different, right? Because we've seen her around like super powerful people, around super powerful spellcasters. Was there anything different in the way she approached that engagement?
Yes. Roll an insight. You've never seen her act like this before. Roll an insight check to see what you're able to discern.
Whoa.
Ooh.
19. Guilt and fear.
Huh.
She feels very guilty, self-conscious, and uncomfortable, as in, this is not a safe place for me to be.
Now, we were around the Celestial Heroes, namely our plague bound person whose name currently escapes my memory.
I'll
but
pull it up, but go ahead.
was there a similar? That was the encounter. That was the kind of position of someone who knew that they had impacted an entity and put cages around it that weren't otherwise there. Is it a similar direction of emotion that I'm kind of reading off her?
Much more personal.
Got it. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna try and catch Medwithin's eye then, really quickly.
As you do so, she glances over to you and says, "It occurs to me. Have we let the captain know of our survival?"
No. We were supposed to. We had intuited that we were going to go back through the portal, send the message, and then head out, but we're interrupted before that kind of went through.
Have you any means of sending such a message?
I'm going to look at my wristwatch. I'm going to look at my wristwatch because that is tied into the radio network. That is then tied into the ship. I don't know if it'll work.
It does not. It's not part of the arcane network that the phones are connected to. That's some extra dimensional nonsense.
Got it. Is there a radio in here?
Yes.
I would like to try. Long shot, I know. I would like to try to bind to see if I can try and get that to connect. Worth a shot, if nothing else.
Okay.
Does time run 1-to-1 here?
Yes. Almost everywhere, time is 1-to-1.
Okay.
Time was even 1-to-1 during when the chronophage was feeding on the Lacunis system. It's just that time wasn't passing in that particular area, but it wasn't like dilated. Mostly across the multiverse, time is always 1-to-1.
Okay.
All right. Roll a technology check for me, please. Lefon.
14. Yuck.
Okay. So the issue here is that the phones, the arcane phones, have some way of finding each other.
Right.
Like an Ansible or something along those lines. Radio is just direction. So you would not only need to get, like, you need the X, Y, Z, and Omega coordinates in order to focus the broadcast in that direction.
Yeah, so like, even though, so technically 5 dimensions, because space, time being the last one. Okay.
Yeah.
An interest. So a problem that I actually do. I'm sorry, Medwithin. I got distracted. There is. I think I can do it, but I would need a lot more time than I have right now. Do we have a different methodology for contacting them?
Gastone, have you any means of reaching across the worlds?
Besides this phone, he's gonna pull out the phone John gave him.
Alas, Captain Domnica has no such device.
That would seem really handy for her to have.
I think John needs to just start handing these out to everybody. It would make
Don't
sense.
worry, John won't, but eventually I will.
Close enough.
We shall free the people from their technological chains. Do not worry.
I like the sound of that.
I think we did leave instructions when we left. That should there be an extended duration that we were gone, to treat it as, things happen, get to safety. I think we're gonna have to trust in the skill that they possess, that they will recognize that we are going to be a lot longer and or deceased, and we'll deal with it as such. When we get a chance, we'll get a contact line back to them, but for now, gonna have to respect the fact that they are seasoned in their own right.
Last. You make your way across the campus, and again, you can see lots and lots of different people. Usually, they all seem like they're young adults, like in their 20s. They're less likely to be adolescents than anything else. But downstairs, outside of the mansion, in a structure across the beautifully, immaculately kept green, as you approach, you begin to hear music, specifically singing. It's a soprano voice, very high, very rich, classically trained operatic sort. but with a little bit of I'm not gonna say like a nasally whine, but kind of like a pipe or whistle sort of timbre to it. And as you draw closer, you see a woman in there wearing a blue dress. She has red hair. She has a big fluffy something around her. It's a big fluffy white something. And as she's singing what's clearly a very, involved technical piece, the table in front of her is set with hundreds of candles. And as she sings, they flare to life and go out. Certain candles correspond to certain notes. And so the fire shows the music. It's almost like one of them Windows visualizers. Or those Christmas lights that are
Windows
tuned
Media
to music.
Player.
This is Doris Hampton. And as you approach, she stops what she's doing and issues a very low, clear tone. And all of the candles just go out. Hello. I was told I had visitors.
Yes. Uh-oh.
It's more like visitor singular. Gastone just points it.
I'm gonna lean over to Daileries. Do you want assistance?
Let's find out.
What does that mean?
No!
Now, I will say we did talk about this beforehand. Because I brought it up the last time that we were involved. If Daileries wants, I can cast Calm Emotions. GM, if I do that, would she be able to get advantage on the save?
Yes, and or she would just be in control of herself.
Okay. I did ask you though, so it's entirely up to you.
She kind of like gives like a slight nod.
Her cheeks are flushing, and she's just like,
it will be done.
All right. You choose. The point is all around you, and so all of you seem sort of emotionally calm and muted.
Ah, it's AoE. Interesting.
As you say, really, one visitor, she gives you a big beaming smile, Gastone, and says, "But there's three of you." And she walks up to give you a handshake. And as she gets closer, she is abruptly much less excited.
Oh, why?
She failed on the save from
she failed the
Calm
save.
Emotions.
Yeah, she just walked into the calm emotions.
Oh!
So she was like very tearful and sort of, moving towards you, light of foot, but now she's just walking towards you.
I'm gonna step forward really quickly and hold out my this is tough. I will hold out my left hand, I guess, to like in sort of a gallant fashion to her. My apologies, Mademoiselle. The my friend here who came to meet you is a study of the arts, and this is a chance to let her speak plainly and calmly without tripping over her own words. Not one to.
You don't have to make a fuss over me. Don't be silly.
And I will gently guide her to Daileries.
So now, calm with the spell. Daileries is going to introduce herself and just be like, I just want to learn about like the art of acting in films, whatever it is you did here, like anything that I can take away from here.
This wasn't for the films. I can't show that at my day job.
Oh, well, tell me about your day job.
I'm trying to remember what the name of the company was. Well, aside from studying here at the Donahue Academy, I am in the pictures. I perform in a variety of different films, often in the leading role. I'm very fortunate to do so, especially if those films require a combination of acting, singing, and dancing, which I've all studied in great detail. I also occasionally perform at the conservatory or the opera hall. I love it very much.
So the movies here have like sound. They're essentially the talkies.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They didn't when I was growing up.
Back on Ascus, were they silent films or
No,
were they...
because of Inequa, I think they were able to come up with something that got around that. They were just all,
Okay.
really churchy.
Got it. And I'm assuming the movies here are not.
Correct. It's purely technologically powered. And they are all sorts of... Oh, you mean churchy? No. That some of them are quite racy. The movie industry, there's a famous stunt academy nearby over in the hills. They do big historical productions. I'm trying to find the name of... I have the name of one somewhere. Okay, it's the Studio District, Prop Town. That's what they call it, Prop Town. It used to be Apple Orchards. Duke Studios is the one that she performs at. She actually got the leading role in Tlakalel versus Amoxchili, which is a big historical epic of people you've never heard of because they're from this world. Bennett Stunts, owned by Sir Ian Bennett, is also there. There's a ton of different little movie studios, and she's been doing some of those. I also perform in some in order to inspire and uplift all of our soldiers fighting overseas.
Oh, there's a war?
Where are you from? It's very unlikely you'd be aware of.
From here. I'm a little sheltered, you might say.
Have you traveled from other worlds?
Can I roll insight? Is this somebody that we can tell?
Sure.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh!
Okay.
Yes, she would be very excited to hear about this. It would not be the first time she's heard about this before.
Okay, yes, we're traveling from off-world.
Wonderful. I've never been off-world before.
It is delightful, though I don't recommend taking the hell path.
Oh, did you do that?
Teensy little bit.
Why would
Slight
anyone ever do
detour through
that?
hell. It's complicated.
Okay. No, I bet it is. I bet it's very, very complicated.
There aren't exactly interdimensional, interplanetary roads and highways. It's very complicated.
Sometimes it just happens that the way you need to go is through hell.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I guess I never considered that. Is it all fire and brimstone like they say? And she glances over at the candles, more curious than anything else.
Not necessarily fire and brimstone, but not very pleasant either.
Well, that's good. I feel like fire gets a bad rap.
Fair. How come you never traveled off-world? You seem knowledgeable.
Oh, I've only met folks who are from off-world. I know Hara's not from around here, and John's not from around here.
John's not from around anywhere that I know of.
Oh, everybody's from somewhere. Just because you don't go there anymore doesn't mean you're not still from there.
True.
I think the mask will flare up at that statement.
Oh, goodness gracious. Your face is beautiful.
I consider it a work of art.
It is. It is a work of art. I've never seen its like.
One of these days, I'll have to tell you the story a little bit more in depth. But until then, I do wonder if there was one thing to look out for that you could change here in this area. What would it be?
Oh, changing something. Well, I sure would like it if all of our men and women could come home from overseas, and if the Omelons would stop all their conquering that they're doing. They say it's one generation of suffering for 10,000 years of prosperity, but I just don't feel like folks should have to suffer in the first place like that. But Northport's wonderful. Northport's the best that it's been in a long, long time. Our students are protected. Hara takes care of us. We've got managers that aren't trying to cheat us or perv on us. Everything's so different than it was just a few years ago.
I think I'm still holding her hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would make a request of you then, if that's okay.
Oh, certainly.
Make connections. Set the ground rules. Place things in position. Who knows when something might come along that needs to take advantage of the systems that have already been built or disrupted. And I will drop calm emotions on this, kind of like looking at her with the full force of my will at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a like harsh overbearing manner, but like in a I've seen what it looks like in its end goal.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize the truth of what I'm saying.
Okay. Roll an insight check for me. And an intimidation check. Not that you're trying to intimidate her, but you are projecting aura. Roll to Mog.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can convince you to like let me use persuasion here, but I can't really think of anything that would change it enough to be that one. So we'll do that, and then okay.
All right. You get the impression this girl's seen some shit. Like, more than just pervy or exploitative managers. She's seen some things that they may be of this world, but
well, I guess I was asking her to build like inroads into things. I could have leaned on that. Anyway.
Well, that's good advice. That's good advice, stranger. I'm sorry, I didn't get your names. And she looks over at Josie. Josie, make another saving throw.
Oh no.
I think you're fine, right?
Yeah. Whew. Skin of my teeth.
How long are all y'all in town? I'd love to hear some stories, maybe some songs from where you're from.
I believe only until this evening, right?
Oh, that's a right tragedy.
I will. I'm going to try to do something here.
Mm-hmm.
You taking one of the pieces of scrap metal out of my bag. I'm going to try and fold it with my metal hand into my maker mark.
Mm-hmm.
A piece of really soft metal. I probably have like a sheet of aluminum that has been like stripped really thin. So I'm gonna try and like I'm just gonna fold it into my maker mark and like so it won't like unravel. And then I will pinch my fingers together, directing firebolt to kind of like set it in its place. Yeah, and I will hand it to her. I will let it like I will put it in like in my hand enough to like absorb the heat to cool it off so it doesn't harm her in any way. And I will hand her the piece of
Is this your autograph, miss?
Not an autograph, but not exactly unlike an autograph either.
It's kind of an autograph, yeah.
She seems delighted about it. She has no idea who the hell you are, but she has become very famous and she's become very used to signing autographs. So the role reversal makes her laugh in a pleasant way.
Yeah. There is a tradition amongst builders and engineers where I'm from. You imprint an icon of yourself that reminds the world of you onto the things that you build. But this has a little bit more of meaning to it. I strongly suspect that I can link eventually this device, and I will pull out my communication device. I'm working on a system that allows me to link things that are imprinted to me into this communication. Consider this an advance on a test.
This sounds like one of Gastone's widgets. Are you working on this too? What are you working on? How have you been?
I mean, until I met these two, same old. Some working on how to deal with General Sagomo. Is that how I say it? Trying to deal with the general, trying to keep him away from my inventions because of his disturbing amount of interest in them.
Oh, very persistent man he is.
I'll say.
You know, I think Everett said something about leaving a maker's mark on things. I bet you two got along. He's probably out by the garage right now. Not that I'm trying to shake all of you away, of course. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like.
Maker's mark?
Yeah, something that you put on it, you make a beautiful clay vase and then you put your sign on it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, as a reminder for what the Maker's Mark looks like, it is just my mask.
At this point, Dolores is going to kind of turn to Medwithin and Yasmeen and kind of in like undertone. She's going to be like, she's delightful. We should take her with us.
I think I'm going to swat you on your shoulder immediately. No.
I'm going to thank Yasmeen for the SWAT.
We do not. And I will say this a little bit louder so Doris can hear us. You appreciate a rose in its environment. You don't try and pluck it from it.
And the less flowery way of saying it is, this is very dangerous. And unless we're sure you can handle yourself, it's probably best we don't bring you.
Oh, Gastone, I've had more than near my own share of trouble.
And Gastone, there's a reason I chose roses. They do have thorns to protect themselves, I think. I will do that same half bow to yours again. Yes, I think I would appreciate that introduction, actually.
Oh, wonderful. I'll take you right over there. She'll go ahead and gather her things real quick and lead you across the hall, across the green. Again, it's almost like a college, the quad. It's almost like the quad of a college, except it's clearly just a really big estate that has been converted and some of the neighboring properties have been purchased and added, but they're all just big old money homes. Like, this is clearly old money stuff. There's a garage nearby, and as you approach, first off, Dolores, the entire time that she's on her way over, she's humming to herself. And as she does, like, little wisps of fire move around the hand that she has clear of everybody else. She's being very careful about this. This is something that she has been practicing to control and not burn anybody.
I'm going to try to at least remember the tune to, like, try out later.
And as you're going, Medwithin will shoot you a little message, Dolores. A gift such as this doesn't belong on our dangerous paths, but it should be enshrined somewhere like the Court of Fluris. It would marvel at her.
Yeah, I agree.
And she would be treated with the respect and grace that an artist deserves.
I agree. Maybe we come back here after Lacunas before we head back to Pyrespace.
Oh, we have countless years before us. Once the forge is safe, do not. There's a little extra on that as she says that. A little amused invitation to it, but very subtle.
But Doris is human, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just thinking, like, was it Markoff?
Marikoff.
Marikoff.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, he would be delighted by her company.
Yeah. Absolutely. He would be like, we're going to make you a star. As you're making your way there, you notice some strange harmonics in your mask, Yasmeen. And Gastone, some of your devices and gear on you sort of twitches and adjusts itself. This is a phenomenon that Beatdown may not remember, but Gastone would be well aware of. Yasmeen, it's almost like feedback in your mask. It's not loud or obnoxious, but it's a transmission in a direction that you are not used to.
Can I open up that connection?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. As you do that, you hear rolling. Ow! A strapping young lad wearing a grease coat and a hat and overalls and like mechanics gear is rubbing his head as he emerges from underneath a hot rod that he has been tweaking and messing with. Doris runs over him. Everett, are you all right? Don't stain yourself none, Miss Hampton. Don't get any grease on you here. And he'll go ahead and stand up, still clearly in pain. But he takes a very sort of upright posture, very formal, despite he's covered in oil and such. Miss Hampton, guests.
Is the feedback directional, by the way?
Yeah, it's coming from him.
It's coming from him. Where on him?
Him.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna command I'm going to use the masking machine command to execute a command, spin.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over to his workbench and start like picking through the most, the stuff that's like, that looks the best taken care of. The things that would irritate an engineer the most.
Doris is gladly introducing Dolores, and Everett recognizes Gastone from multiple situations throughout the city and here, and gives a very respectful sort of half nod bow, and then looks over to the desk as you're just messing with his stuff, and is like, "I don't
what are you
think
working
I've
on?"
I had the courtesy, Miss.
And then I'm gonna look at something that's like a half finished project, if there's one that's there. Try and figure out what it is. A project that he seems to be stuck on, actually. And like I want to try and bridge I want to see if I can make sense of what is being worked on.
Sure. Roll a technology check. He is streamlining this vehicle by removing control elements, things that run from the top of the car into the bottom of the car. It still has like steering and such, but it's all being removed except for what's in the car itself.
He's trying to go fast.
Yeah, to the point where there's like there's fewer and fewer ways to actually control the vehicle. Pedals, steering wheel, etc. It's
straight
all
line?
just nope. Steering, the wheels can still steer. There's fewer and fewer ways to actually control the vehicle. Pedals, steering wheel, etc. It's
straight
all
line?
just nope. Steering, the wheels can still steer. There's just no steering wheel.
No, but I mean, is the intention to try and take this as fast as possible in a straight line, or is it like supposed to go around a track?
His principles.
Is there something I can see that is like eminently obvious that is standing in his way that he's perhaps missed?
Not yet, because this project is not that complicated.
Okay.
And in fact, looking over everything, this feels like somebody who gets the basics of being a mechanic and is learning the more advanced elements of design and such. But this guy is not like you or Gastone. He's not building incredible things. But there is a level of nuance, almost like a savant, somebody who's just innately talented, but not fully trained, and has been training for a few years.
Got it. Okay. I'm gonna like set the thing that's set the good tool back on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Gently. I'm not trying to like break it or anything. Slightly askew from where it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up a screwdriver or something that is less important. You know, one that looks like it's been chipped and probably is being used as a chisel when it shouldn't be. Chuck it over to him. Run me through it. And I will lessen the force of the like I will dismiss the annoyance that is the masking machine command on him.
Okay. He looks hesitant.
And as he does, I will start picking up the principles that he's been kind of addressing throughout this thing, like starting him on the giving him the push to talk about his work.
He kind of raises his eyebrows like, oh, you know what you're talking about. Also, your face is made of metal. But he looks at
if he
yes, he didn't say that. He's just noting those things. No. He seems very, very sort of formal. Yes, miss. No, miss. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Also, the other thing to note is I am significantly older than him, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I'm like in my 40s, I believe. I think
Harder to tell with a metal face, but yes.
It is hard. I do have a more senior appearance than most.
But he's glancing at Doris and at Gastone like he's looking for permission.
What?
And Doris goes, "Oh, they're from off world. They're from another place, just like John always talks about."
Oh, that's what you mean.
All right, so it's fine if I I'm there with you, so they're not with the general, sir, right?
No, of course not.
Good, because he still thinks I'm dead, and I'd like to keep it that way, sir.
As it will.
Right, so I figure I can get more performance out of any given chassis if I can strip out some of the bare bones, just in case one didn't need them. Because he looks over at the car, and that harmonic feedback that you're getting from the mask sort of amplifies, and the car's engine just turns on, and the lights turn on. He is a machine empath. He has inherent machine command. That's his magical gift. And so like he fires it up, makes it drive back and forth, turn he's controlling all the mechanisms through his machine empathy because he doesn't need a steering wheel or anything else like that.
Got it.
It's just
can I try and override it and shut the car down?
Yeah, roll a charisma check.
Oh.
His gift is pretty strong, and also because he spent so much time with this vehicle, it's more tuned to him. It's almost really like an empathic bond. It's not sentient, but it's reacting as if it almost was.
Got it. Does he react when I try and do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Again, like there's a ringing in his ear.
I will stop it. I'm not trying to hurt him or anything.
You're just doing an experiment.
Yeah, interesting. I will reach out with my metal arm and shake his hand, like to shake his hand, because I haven't introduced myself at all yet.
Right. He'll go ahead and take it very firmly and politely.
Does he look at the hand when he sees that it's clearly metal?
He does for a moment, and then he just goes ahead and shakes it.
Okay. A pleasure. The name's Star.
Miss Star. Everett. Everett, what's his last name? Oh, I think it's just Everett now. Yeah, I think he scrapped. Yeah, he scrapped his last name because he faked his own death.
Happens.
Hey. All of us are absolutely telling our full names here anyway, so it makes sense. No, it makes sense. Power to weight ratio, the term is called. The more power, the lighter the item that it's pushing, the faster it goes. Also, I have to apologize for that disturbance. Testing a few theories.
Right.
What's it for?
So, miss. Well,
and yes, it's for moving fast. What's it for?
Well, It's a elaboration on a previous theme from my earlier career, where there was a vehicle that was under testing considerations and couldn't be controlled safely by a normal operator, and I was brought in to push it beyond its limits and act in a theater where it would not otherwise have been possible. But that was not by my own construction, nor I was ordered to do it. This is something that I have constructed myself in order to familiarize myself with the principles, because it's possible that more advanced machinery, such as something that Mr. Gastone here might construct, could benefit even further from this. And it's a good exercise to practice with something that I've had my own hands on, done myself.
Scaling it is going to have two problems, or at least there are two things to consider. The first, the more complexity is added, the more points of failure are added. Now, that seems self-evident, but consider this. When you are commanding something, if I were to command you to lift a finger, but I were to put an electrical pulse right here, and I'll put point along the nerve of where it is, which would supersede?
Well, I reckon it depends on how strong the shock is, miss.
Exactly. But that is an element of control that you don't have anymore. So keep that in mind when you're wiring up the machine more aggressively to command it via the power of thought, anyway. Reactions are a lot more instinctive than thought.
Well, that's the good thing there, miss. I'm not so much telling it what to do in every single piece that's moving as I am feeling it out.
And the second is, I think you missed the bolt, and I'm going to try and see if I can pull out, find a line of something that's just weight saving and take it off for him.
Oh, thank you. He goes over to his papers just to review the diagram to be like, did I need that one? Was that excessive? He's clearly smart, but he's not like a huge mathematician or anything. He has not had much. He's had a trade education, not a formal education.
Yeah, I just came in to annoy him. but realistically, I think I've accomplished what I actually wanted to. I think so. That's gonna have that used. I'm gonna use the last few charges of the Mask of Machine command here. Not to interfere with what he's doing, but bolster it. And if that has any effect.
You notice your machine command is much more absolute, whereas his is more of a two-way flow. Like, you assume direct control. He kind of almost bonds with it.
Understood.
So yours definitely can, it's a harsher jolt, but it's less likely to last.
Cool.
While you're there, he asks Gastone a couple of questions about that flying vehicle that your brother, I believe, built, and I would like to try some of those principles in my next build, if it isn't too much trouble, sir. Doris is very happy to share the day with you and talk, and she talks your ears off, but she also listens. She's also very happy to listen. She's fascinated by the idea of what theater and movies and music are on your world, Deloris. So you can spend as long as you want here going back and forth on that.
Weren't you also going to ask him about the Maker's Marks?
Oh, yeah, Everett, do you put something on the things that you build? Well, Miss Hampton, I've always considered myself more of a fixer than a maker. I've only recently started taking that to task, and Honestly, as a dead man, I don't think it wise to leave too many traces of myself back there. I am certain that the army would like their pilot back. General would like his pilot back. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, don't do anything that would danger yourself, Everett. Well, there you go. He doesn't have one. Doris never asked. Now she knows. Now all of you know. Is there anything else that you'd want to get out of this day that you spent here? Doris will like make sure that you get food and tea. She's not like commanding people either. Like she's going to go get it herself and brings in some cleaning stuff to get the oil off of Everett's hands. And even though he's clearly focused on what he's doing, he'll stop. He's very polite, military lad.
The last thing I want to do is look for that kid who I so rudely caused to fall over by counterspelling their.
I forgot about that.
Spellcraft.
That poor kid.
That particular kid does not appear again throughout the rest of the day.
Okay.
Oh. They're not injured, are they?
Not severely. Gastone, do you want to see Florence while you're here?
Yeah. Also, Quest, remind me,
Mhm.
is Quirk the extra kid?
No. I think that
Quirk
kid's
is the
named.
other one.
Yeah, Quirk is the other one. Extra is the extra kid.
Ah, that's right. Are they
So-
here? I love those kids.
The most dangerous person at this school, with the possible exception of Hara, is a newsie who goes by the name Extra, a former newsie.
Yep. Good times. Wow.
Fantastic.
Seeing Florence is actually a great idea. I forgot about Florence. Pete Down forgot about Florence.
Yeah, Gastone didn't, obviously.
Of course.
So, when the lot of you go to see Florence, she's actually downstairs in the basement. And she is a young adult, sort of shoulder length, brunette hair, red lips, sort of those lines right there. Just looking at her, she has the look of somebody who would look really good in like a sun hat and some slightly fancy clothes and some pearls and that kind of stuff. But she is in fact wearing sleek black armor that is filled with some sort of glowing gel. She's in the process of taking off the helmet and sort of beginning to remove all the pieces when Gastone walks in. She visibly brightens, goes in for a hug, and then sees that you're accompanied, recognizes Medwithin, gives her like a nice smile and such. And then to the two of you, don't believe I've had the pleasure of making your acquaintance. They're with you, right, Gastone?
Oh, they are.
All
Also,
right.
hello, Florence. Hope you've been well. This is Dolores and Yasmeen.
How do you do?
We're working on a mission soon,
Hmm.
but we came by because Dolores wanted to meet. Oh my God, I'm so bad at names.
Doris.
Thank you.
The movie star. Are you a fan?
Yes.
Do you spend a lot of time at the pictures?
Oh, I don't know about the pictures. They were just chatting about
Mm,
something or other.
Never had the pleasure.
Odd.
Oh, they're not from here. Like,
Oh, they're not from here.
yeah, exactly. They're not
Oh.
from here.
Okay. Oh, I understand. We'll go ahead and shake each of your hands. She's still wearing this armor and this gauntlet, which Yasmeen, immediately upon looking at it, there are some highly advanced polymers and construction techniques in this armor that do not match Northport tech.
Right, this is not from around here.
They do match Gastone tech, though.
Right. Does she reach out to shake hands?
Mm-hmm.
I'll twist her arm slightly just to take a look at the construction of it.
Ow! Excuse me.
That didn't hurt, and we both know it.
Well, it wasn't polite either.
I'm not from around here. I don't know your politeness rules.
I think a person's entitled to their own body is universal, or I'd hope it is.
That is a very funny one. What is this?
She's like, oh. Well, this keeps me here. It's
Like here in this place?
let me okay, no, I can talk through some of this. I have a condition that requires me to be exposed to bright light at almost all times, or I disappear. Something about transdimensional migration or evaporation, but it's easiest to say that I get lost in the shadows.
I can explain.
This
So-
is similar to what the assassins kind of run through that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similar kind of concept, but non-intentional.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, so were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say I can explain. Basically, Florence is like a lot of the other kids here, except her power is sort of always on. When we found her, she was basically in a pod because if there isn't some kind of system preventing her from, well, like she said, going through the shadows, it's impossible for her, from what we currently understand, for her to remain corporeal. So that's what the suit is for. So she can at least walk around, interact, actually live instead of spend most of her time asleep.
I've been learning too. I've been studying, getting better. Hara's been helping a lot, but I still wouldn't want to walk around without this.
So you're learning how to basically turn it on and off.
Yes, exactly. I'm getting there.
Good.
Huh.
Have you figured out anything else you can do?
Let's see. She goes through a brief demonstration. She can extend the shadows out from her hand and they strike like claws.
Ooh.
She can drain the light from an area to create regions of darkness. She can see perfectly in darkness all the time. She can do a short-ranged shadow teleport like you saw Edelvina do. Sort of the early version of that she's learned. Go invisible and general shadow and light control.
Cool.
Wow.
Impressive.
You said you were on a mission. What are you working on?
Where do I even begin? Basically, intergalactic threat in a galaxy far, far away. TLDR, they need my help. And if all of that collapses, it probably won't happen anytime soon. But considering the nature of the threat, one can only assume our world will also fall prey eventually.
Oh, so like a Zorbius thing?
Sure. Multiplied by about 1,000. Maybe
Oh.
more.
I probably shouldn't distract you from that. That sounds pretty
We're-
important.
We're not exactly. We're waiting for Boigness to help make us a portal so we can go to where we need to go, and he isn't done yet. That's why we came here.
As she says, I don't mean to distract you, and then Gastone kind of finishes with, I will like wrap her on the shoulder, not like harshly, but like that's where your youth is coming in. Downtime is not distraction. A tired mind is a stupid mind. Rest is important.
If
Yeah, you should probably
only
go get some.
Yasmeen took her own advice.
That rejoinder, I think I will like actually like smile at her, which weirdly isn't scary. Like you'd think, oh, it's just a mask. It's like it will glow like a very gentle summer's day, like a sunset kind of thing. And I will kind of laugh. Like, now you're getting it. Do me a favor, if you would. I might be back in the next some amount of time. Timeline shift. Would you be able to try and take notes about. I know I'm asking a lot here. When you shift, would you be able to take as many detailed notes about how the reaction kind of works? Let me give an example. I'm going to pull the notations I've written down about the interdimensional kind of binding and a piece of string. And I'm going to curl the string over itself. You see how the string doesn't intersect, but builds a loop anyway?
Yeah.
Consider this to be time, and I will, the loop time. What happens if you travel through it? It doesn't make sense now, nor is it supposed to. But the same kind of idea. Try and think about what happens when those two systems are at work. And let me know what you come up with.
You know where I come from, when you do somebody a favor, it means you owe them. Well, now they owe you a favor.
And where I come from, you don't ask for it until you need it.
I'll think about it.
All I can ask for.
She gives Gastone a look like, weird ones.
I guess those just gonna shrug.
But yeah, other than that, she's really happy to see Gastone. They clearly have some history. She kind of is relieved by his presence. Scrappy, she is, measured with her words, pretty well educated. Not on hyperdimensional theory though. That hasn't been covered yet.
I'm sure they're working on it.
If there's nothing else, you may return to Boygness at your discretion, unless there's anyone else you'd like to visit, or anywhere else in town you'd like to go.
I want to see Extra and Quirk really fast.
All right.
Yes.
Quirk and Extra are both some of the youngest here. They are just barely adults. They are, well, I guess they're kind of, they used to be starving. They used to be very hungry and very dirty, and they aren't anymore, but they retain that sort of scrappiness. Quirk still wears a newsy hat and suspenders and such, but he's also wearing like a school jacket that's a little bit nicer. And Quirk is wearing a jacket that doesn't quite fit, probably because it isn't actually hers. They're both also excited to see Gastone. And Quirk is, what would she say? Have any other column lieutenants or anybody stuck around? Anyone popping up out of the woodwork?
As far as I know, we took care of them all.
The only thing about that I don't like is that I didn't get to do it, but it got done.
Trust me, it wasn't easy, and you'll get your chance, even if it's not with the column. Just focus on the studies. Which reminds me, how's the school? How are things? Staying out of trouble? The suspicious, look, squint, like, mostly playful, kind of serious.
Well, Loop fell mid-swing earlier and thought I did it, which I didn't.
We'll deal with that.
I'm getting better at knowing when I actually did something versus when it wasn't me. So yeah, no, I'm working on it. It's kind of boring sometimes, but still. Is there a way somebody can rob a bank and be a hero?
No.
Actually,
don't listen.
Her attention just whooshes over to the two of you who she hasn't even talked to yet.
Literally, Gastone's hand is gonna cover her sight so she can't see them. No. No.
All I'm saying is, I'm gonna look at Gastone. Never mind.
Thank you.
We'll have to have a discussion.
Does Gastone turn his back?
Huh?
Like, am I hidden behind you? Like, can you see my face?
I don't know. Where am I standing?
I like to think that I'm like sort of behind you.
Sure, I can. That's fine.
After I say that, I'm going to wink at.
She has kind of a doesn't pay attention, but very like deliberately does not respond because her face is visible. This kid is cagey. As for Extra, he's kind of sticking his hands in his pockets and just loping around, and he's not talking very much. And it's basically because that's part of my learning here is not to talk as much, just in case something happens.
Because of your powers.
He lifts his hat sort of to the two of you, but doesn't say anything.
What happens if he talks too much?
Reality changes.
Sick.
Wait, like kind of like Scarlet Witch stuff.
Like Dr. Manhattan stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's really not the talking so much, but old habits are hard to break, and you know.
Well, I'm glad you're learning. I'm glad you're also staying out of trouble. I'm gonna turn and look at Yasmeen and Dolores. Just turn and glare.
It's not. Pick the places you get in trouble to be worth it.
That I can actually get behind.
Don't waste it on something silly.
Close enough.
And robbing banks isn't silly. Just
Pork nods emphatically.
We lost the plot again. No. Never mind. We're leaving. Good to see you, kids. And literally just tries to shepherd them away. Like, let's go.
I'll flip both of them a gold coin.
All right. They both. Quirk like snatches it out of there and it's like, whoa. And then the newsie rocks back and forth on his feet with sort of a sly smile and extra, read all about it. Famous inventor loses track of 2 kids. And the 2 of them are gone.
Huh? Extra?
Actually, you can still, the 2 of you can still see them. Gastone can't, and they run off.
Wow.
I like that kid.
They're funny.
They're great. I promise the next time we see them, we won't intentionally put them into trouble.
Well, with any luck, we'll all be dead.
I can't promise anything because youth are impressionable.
I would never want to take them astray.
Medicine's just staring.
Do I need to roll insight for that one?
I think you can draw your own conclusions there.
I think I will.
Do you mind if we cut to break early? I'm just super parched and I just need water.
Oh,
and this
yeah,
seems,
no
since
problem.
you're probably leaving the estate, were you planning on leaving the estate?
Yeah, heading back
Yeah.
to see what the portal stuff
Good old
is.
boydness.
Yeah, the one thing is I will have a small conversation on the way back with Gastone, but nothing nothing extremely important.
All right. Then we'll be back shortly with a hydrated dungeon master and more Coriander Society adventures. Anything
You
else
said
to
it's
bring up?
shallow, right? So it's just disintegrating. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
like
not that it's sinking in, it's just that it's melting away.
Oh god, that's brutal.
Technically, you don't sink in the lava. It's very viscous material, and you can
Shut
drop
the
it
fuck up.
and burn.
Oh no.
Flip him. Okay, one black card. That's a big success. That's a critical success. So this is perfect. You already have an edge, right? So you can't gain another edge, but you can double the effect, which means you can quiet both wolves.
My friends. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Gosh, I almost fucking died. I never died in a one shot. My heart hurts, man.
This game, again, you start out from very humble origins. You're not mighty heroes. You're just townsfolk. It's
I've been
easy
humble.
to die.
We're coming from
humble.
stupid origins.
Okay.
So, well, listen.
If you'll allow it.
If you allow it, I like to skin the wolf's head and place it on Mr. Sir Thomas to disguise him poorly as not a cow.
You're just making him wear stinky skin.
Like a mask. Like a mask. Mask off. Fucking mask off. Yeah, like that. It's so close.
It's a were-cow. Okay. You can certainly try. We're gonna go ahead and leave you cheerfully peeling the face off of this dead wolf so that you can stick it on your cow's head. And I'm gonna just drop that mental image with everybody.
What the fuck is that?
Don't worry about that. Oh no, actually, I you can worry about that now. I mentioned it. That's the nigh invulnerable kraken that shipwrecked you on this island.
What?
Yeah, but he's fine now. He's just minding his own business, chilling, going around in the ring.
Okay. He's friendly, right?
I'll get back to you on that one, Haruka.
Wait! Don't switch the.
Save, but it's double damage, so it blasts through, starting to erode his power, and he takes the full damage because it's half of double. Will that be it for Donovan?
I think Donovan doesn't even pay attention to the impact. He still just looks towards Booby and says, "So, what do you do for fun, Booby?"
That was most wonderful, I must say. That was truly a good show.
Oh, well, please give me a good show when it's your opportunity.
Well,
Okay.
I won't be casting vicious mockery, that's for sure.
Jesus, the boys are chattering away.
Ventrea, it's your turn. You may step through the ranks of the Mutual Admiration Society to do whatever.
My apologies, sir. What's your name? I go by.
We
Haruka, by
are
the
the
way.
Bufomorphs. I am Bufo, and these are the morphs.
Hello, Bufo, and hello, Morphs.
We are here to commune with our sacred idol. It gives us great insight into the spiritual oneness of all things.
I won't say it.
What's your secret idol?
It's sacred.
I won't fucking say it.
It's right. What is the toaster going on
I'm gonna
about
say
now?
it.
I'm gonna cover Zen's mouth. Don't listen to her.
I'm gonna fucking say it.
I'm covering Zen's mouth. I'm covering.
Boofa D's nuts.
Roll for initiative.
Hi.
Okay, describe this devil's fate at the claws of Slobber Chops.
He gets like whipped around, lands on his head, still like conscious and alive. Slobs just starts like going at his ass, just like and just disembowels him.
Oh! Like I imagine the camera pans away and you hear a sound like a wood chipper, and you just gore spewing off to the side. It's like somewhat, discretionary shot, but everybody.
His legs are like.
And then Slobber Chops' face comes up into the screen, covered in gore, and it just does the one lick, the one like aggressive face lick. Yep.
I hate exactly what it is. I hate everything I stand for.
You're underneath, wrench, screwdriver, acetylene torch, and you manage to disconnect. Now you're gonna have to get it over all these traps and pits and stuff. But on the other hand, you have a flying barbarian.
You have a flying.
Yep, flying barbarian. Oh, that's exactly how we're gonna implement the ballista, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Here I thought you were gonna attach it to the ship, but no.
I am this ship, baby.
Oh yeah.
Airstrike. Yeah, you tricked the
We're gonna roll into Avernus, and we're not gonna actually have any kind of like doom buggy. We're all gonna be riding on top of just Crozet floating around riding a ballista.
How did you get a blip? No, it's just a flying dwarf.
Fly me close up. I want to hit them with my sword.
Who are we?
The companions of the Crimson Chain. All right, you should see the words "Cure Wounds." Go ahead and click that button. That's going to throw out your heals. You're going to heal Iron Mouse. And as you're doing that, go ahead.
Okay, I cast it.
I feel.
Oh.
What do you feel?
Oh, we upcast that one.
Oh, it asked
You're
me what
fine.
level. I didn't understand what that meant.
No worries. What level did you put it at?
9.
Holy!
It gave me. I just chose the
all right.
highest one.
I mean, if you are gonna choose, right, you would.
Yeah,
obviously
I want to
you'd
cure all
that.
the words, ideally.
And the incentive bonus for that is critical wool.
Oh no.
For the next 20 minutes, I think.
Oh, kitten.
Where did it go? Where'd it go? For the next few minutes, Matt must use Uwu speech.
Oh, God.
Until, until 2 p.m.
Grandma.
Pacific.
Well, thank you
I
so
can't-
much for helping Grandma, little friend.
Grandma, what are you saying? Where did you learn that?
If I was hungry,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like I am hungry, and I kind of feel like each of you would fit in my mouth, so I'm probably just gonna eat you. But that just seems.
I mean, no. I mean, like, what else do you want to eat besides me?
That's it. I'm gonna blast them.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And I'm gonna start with Miss Doubtfire over here.
Roll for initiative, please.
Son of a bitch! There is no way I can.
Weakened by the extra-dimensional force of the Akashic Field, this final attack strikes the Kraken, and it slumps, reeling in its defeat, slowly dissolving from this reality, banished back to the phantom realms from which it once came.
I'm gonna give a huge
Good
thumbs
stuff.
up to the kaiju. Good job!
Oh, I'm glad you're cheering on your pet, Haruka.
No! No,
As it-
I don't give a shit about him.
As the Kraken disapparates, the kaiju looks over at you and in a deep rumbling voice as it too begins to fade from this reality in this current form.
I'm gonna wave at him.
Be good.
He tells us to be good.
Oh,
Bye, kaiju.
thank you for fighting with us.
Big turtle man.
For seekers, and magic dampens sound in these quarters, quieting boisterous visitors and heavy snoring.
And other things. I mean,
and other
we're all
things.
thinking it.
Welcome back to Coriander Society Adventures, tormented by gnomes, joined by Drozy, Beatdown, and Lafon. When last we left our heroes, they were leaving the Donahue Academy, having met with Hara, a blue dragon in the guise of a human, Doris Hampton, a movie star who can control fire with her voice, Everett, a machine empath, and a variety of other colorful characters, all with magical gifts, all honing those gifts at the Donahue Academy. Barring any further requests, Frank, the cabbie, can go ahead and take you home.
On the cab drive home, or on the cab drive back to Edelvina's mansion, not our home,
base.
I will. Holy man, I will pull Beatdown aside, Gastone aside.
Yeah.
The apologies for well, the direction we push things in, but I'm committed to the promise we made you.
Okay.
We're going to need, when we return, infrastructure in place that we can take advantage of. We will not have time to build it out. When we return, that we can take advantage of. Time to... These look like very, very intelligent children.
Infrastructure for what? That's not the first time you said that.
Whatever we need. Here's the thing. We're trying to break out a system that we don't know about, that is already in power. We're coming in as outsiders without any knowledge of the land. Who better than the people who are already here to start that progress on their own? Besides that, though, when you're researching something, how do you know what question to ask? That's the first step, right? What is the correct question to ask? What is the line of inquiry that gets you the best results? I don't know anything about the direction of light and shadows and the movement throughout. But if you already have an intuition into how that works, what happens if your direction is focused into a line of thinking rather than just doing? Besides, they look like extremely curious people. Come in, provide a stranger who just asks them questions. Odds are they're probably going to want to find answers themselves. I don't know what questions to ask, but they do. And it's better to have them start questioning than it is for us to start telling them what to do. Or at least, that's the hope. Who knows?
Sorry, what do you want though? I mean, this is the whole
I don't
thought
know
of
what I
not
want.
influencing- Okay.
That's the thing. I don't know what they can do. They don't know what they can do, but they have a better idea than I do.
Do you refer to the chronophage, Yasmeen?
Is this who's asking this?
Medwithin.
Eventually, maybe. But realistically, how to put this? When I was young, I put things together at all costs. Finding, scrounging. They nearly got me. They nearly stopped me from being who I was. But the day before I was about to scrap all my metal, melt it down and throw it away, a clockwork creature, something that's on Ascus, stumbled across the junkyard where I was sitting. And it was the most fascinating thing I'd ever seen. Now, of course, I could put it together in 20 seconds with my eyes closed and my hands tied behind my back. But the point is, it was strange and weird and enough to keep me going. And it may be that those kids didn't need it. It may be that they would have kept going and they would have found a resource all their own that would have pushed them forward. But maybe, just maybe, was enough to ask them to have them ask a question about themselves. What is forward? And barring that, what is next? Besides, I am being selfish. That's work I don't need to do.
As you're driving, Frank has to take a detour. There's a police barricade on the road that leads to the Warner Dodson, the mayor's house. But it looks like it's just for construction. There's some road construction going on there. He has to turn aside. And again, he's going to go out of the city in order to keep things uncomplicated. It'll be a while before you get there. Medicine is mostly quiet on the drive back. Until that is, you go to cross a small bridge just over like one of the drainage canals or rivers that feeds into the river here. And there's traffic. There's a few vehicles that are stopped. I'd like all of you to roll perception checks, please.
Uh-oh. Perception.
16.
Give me a second now. I made the mistake of clicking it twice. There's going to be 2.
Is the car's radio on?
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
There we go.
Okay. With a 16, Drowsy. Oh, it's too bad we're taking the first one. A 27 would have been nice. With a 16, you can see that it looks like there's been a traffic accident, but the cars are parked at a very strange angle. With a 20, Yasmeen, you see a few men in uniform sort of directing traffic around the accident. Taking people like one at a time, just sort of making sure there's not an additional accident. So it's going to slow you down significantly.
Is it military garb?
Yes.
And second question is the accident. What does the accident look like?
It looks like a sedan T-boned a garbage truck.
Should we be worried? The
I
appears
think
to
we
be
should
military
around.
directing us.
Frank, what are the chances we can U-turn out of here and go another way?
Oh, it's gonna take us another half hour to get around, but yeah, I can do that.
I think to be safe, we should.
All right. He
How far are we from them? The military people.
You're 4 cars away.
Can I use analyze weakness?
Mm-hmm.
Get a sense of like how dangerous they are.
Roll it.
Yep.
Okay. Analysis complete.
If they beat a 22, we're in way bigger problems.
These are the god soldiers of the Lady of Pain. No, these are Commonwealth soldiers.
Okay.
Oh, so they're just scrubs.
They have 60
Well,
hit points.
Scrubbish.
I mean,
scrubbish.
They're not like, I mean, to us they're probably not like incredibly dangerous, but it's also an extended fight that we don't want to get into. Okay, so here's I'm gonna turn to Gastone again. Describing like the power level of these. How often would it be normal to direct people of this caliber to address an accident?
Joe, can you answer that?
It's unusual.
Okay.
Normally they'd only be involved if like it was a military convoy or something, if it was a military matter.
We all know that it was Sedan hit a garbage truck, right?
I've noticed, I'm telling you.
Okay. In that case, this is unusual, which means either they're expanding their influence or there's something more that we're not seeing about this crash.
I built that drone out again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I send it? Try and listen through it.
Mm-hmm. As you
I will try and like fly it on the ground under like
Mm-hmm.
a car, so as to not, so it's outside the line of
All right.
sight of the.
What's the range on that?
500 feet. 500 feet.
It's like 550 feet. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Cool.
550 feet that I can stay connected to it. It can
Yeah.
go much farther on its own.
So then I think while you do that, I think Frank should already preemptively be,
Yeah.
on the way out, but not too
Sort of-
fast. Yeah, Austin Power style.
This is one of those situations where everybody's like stuck and can't go, except it's Frank, and he's had a lot of practice at these sorts of shenanigans. So he is making it work. It's causing a bit of a scene, a bit of a kerfuffle, however. People are honking, stuff like that. But he's making his way there. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm turning around. The drone goes forward, and you notice a couple of other civilian vehicles on the other side of the bridge. A cleaning truck and a laundry truck parked, flanked on either side, maybe 60 feet behind the military vehicles in odd positions. And behind them is a long, dark, juiced up vehicle. One of those, like, almost like a roadster, where you've got the cab in the back and then this really long engine up in the front. Sleek, shiny black, beautifully polished. And for the little thing on the hood, little symbol, it is a crow. It's carved in the shape of a carrion crow with red glint in its eyes, probably gemstone of some kind.
That's pretty extra.
That is pretty extra, and that's also probably the general.
Does it look like they have been involved in the accident at all?
No. But the drivers of both of the vehicles that crashed are standing very straight. One of them's wearing garbage, sanitation workers' clothes, and the other is wearing like family man. They're also both wearing combat boots.
Yasmeen, can you see are you able to fly your drone over to the garbage trucks just to get an idea of what they were actually carrying?
I mean, yeah, I'll try it.
It's practically empty.
Garbage trucks are, even when empty, have a they're never dry.
Residue. A residue.
Does this look like it's actually a garbage truck?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Then
You would know better than I. Would it be expected that this would be on the road at this time of the day in this area?
where are we currently?
Yes. Roll a history check. You're a little bit outside of town, but you are you were a vigilante. You did a lot of vigilante work, so you would actually pick up on things like this. Yeah, this garbage truck does not belong here. It
I
should
see.
not be working in this district like at all.
Okay. I think then, is there a spot where Frank could pull over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe separate us by a few more car lengths so that we're not immediately noticeable, and then pull over because I think we should listen.
Okay. Consider this an abstraction to a certain degree.
Okay.
All right. And you're parking all right, so you've moved around. You have parked the drone.
Now that I have more time, the drone. Does this look like an accident in the sense that they're barricading something?
Yeah, this looks like it was faked. The accident was faked.
Got it. So if that's the case, I'm gonna try and like get a quick bird's eye view of the area. What is the place that they're trying to lock off?
It doesn't look like they're trying to protect any particular place. It looks more like they've created a choke point on this bridge because they're letting vehicles through. But they are letting them through one at a time, and they've created this sort of congestion.
They know something's coming through here. This is not a barricade. This is not an accident. This is a checkpoint.
Yes, that's accurate.
Now the question is, is it for us or is it for someone else? What are they, if I can, what are they asking for the people they're letting through? Because I assume they're like rolling down the window, checking like, are they looking in?
They are looking in.
They're not asking any questions.
Correct. They're just looking in and waving them through.
So they've been tipped off about something. They know that it's visibly apparent who these people are going to be. This is a checkpoint, and they don't need to answer. They don't need any questions answered.
I mean, we did make quite the commotion at the museum when we arrived.
But we're not near the museum.
Gastone, is there like a radio or a news source or something that we could listen into?
Frank?
He'll set it to whatever channel you want.
I don't know. Just bounce around between news until we hear something relevant.
All right. He'll bounce around through. You got some music. You've got a comedy act. You've got the precursors of a true crime podcast in the form of a radio show about the Angel Killer murders. Something about the latest fashion that Philip Carrington was seen at the charity gala, and news about our boys and girls overseas fighting the good fight against the O'Malley tyranny. There's no mention of anything in this area.
They probably wouldn't mention military activity if they were looking for us.
True.
The question is, I'm not too worried about us. We can fight our way out of things.
Yeah.
It's more that if it's someone else.
A third party?
Why?
I don't know. I thought that's the direction you were going in.
I have no information here beyond what I've been able to notice. I think regardless, we don't go through here.
The signal feed from the drone blurs slightly. So
do I know what can interfere with my
electromagnetic fields, other transmissions.
Okay. I'll set the drone. I'll have it fly somewhere else, just out of sight, away from.
Who was in the car?
The windows are rolled up and it is shaded.
Are they dark tinted? Like this is like illegal dark tinted levels of. So the expectation is that the car and the garbage truck are both planted. They're both operated by presumably this military enterprise.
Yes.
We have a choice. Do we try and just leave and have it be someone else's problem, or
I don't even know what this problem is. They're still letting people through, right?
they're looking for someone? That is without a doubt pretty clear, I think.
Well, this military operation, they've been pretty focused on Troll. The only people they could be looking for are either Everett, but they shouldn't know he's alive, myself, but I've been pretty good with avoiding them. So I don't know why they would put this checkpoint to try and catch us. That doesn't make sense. They must be looking for someone else. But the question is who? Who would they be looking for? Or what?
I can try and take a risk. I can try and get closer to hear what they're talking about.
Try. If it gets too dangerous and you think you'll get caught, pull out.
I mean, the drone's expendable. I don't really care about it. So.
Oh, well then, worry about us getting caught only then.
Yeah. I will try and fly the drone surreptitiously to someone who's talking about things.
Okay. Soldiers are keeping a wary eye out, but they're mostly just going, "Come along, sir. Come along, miss. Right this way." Very matter of fact, very business. They are on duty and they are not discussing ops for the most part.
Okay.
But that interference picks up for a moment. And then it just becomes continuous. It's just causing the image to warble a little bit. It's not cutting it off, but it is now continuous.
Okay. I would like to inject. This is gonna be playing a little fast and loose with the concept of how this is gonna work. I would like to modulate the frequency with which I operate the drone. To deliberately weaken. I would like to try and capture the signature of the interference.
Okay. Roll a technology check. Gastone, you may assist on this and roll a technology check or a science check if you don't have that, with advantage because of super genius.
Woo!
Okay, 14.
A 26. Okay.
Oh wow, 226. That's crazy.
Yeah. Gastone very quickly isolates, having some familiarity with military frequencies here, very quickly determines two things. One, the frequency is emitting from the laundry truck on the other side of the bridge. And two, that is not a military frequency. That's a digital. That's some kind of digital scanner.
No one should have that here. Do we know the origin of the scan?
Yeah, it's coming from, there's two, there's like a laundry truck, and I don't remember what I called the other one. But you know that van that parks out in front, that's the command center during the op, that the FBI or whatever parks there? There's two of those.
Like a
There's
panel
two
van?
like moving vehicles. They look like moving trucks, sort of.
Okay. Like the box truck.
Yeah. There's 2 of them set up, and the signal is coming from there.
Okay. I have now, with the acknowledgement that it's a digital scan, digital frequency, which I now have some experience with, having looked at Laguna's tech and John's tech and so forth. This is not a signature I'm familiar with, right? Okay. Does it look like a modified version of a signal that's been given to someone? Meaning someone who hasn't previously had that tech and has been given it and has now been like fiddled with?
No, it doesn't seem like it's like it. Oh, yeah, it seems like some kind of hybrid technology. That's all you can tell from here, though. It seems like it might be primarily Northport gear,
right,
and equipment, but operating on a digital frequency.
Got it. Okay.
It's less likely to be like a high-tech computer, but it's not pure. It's not pure Yord tech.
Got it. Okay.
And this is all
understood.
public knowledge. It's all party knowledge, by the way.
I think everything that Gastone and I are working on is kind of like under that like rapid fire back and forth. Like we're sitting in a truck.
Speak.
Like exactly.
How close is the closest soldier to us?
Probably like you're probably 100 feet away, but you could get closer if you wanted to, because Frank pulled away. You can pull up to 60 feet close. You could pull within 60 feet without entering the ultra danger zone.
Okay.
What you got in mind?
Well, I have detect thoughts, but we're way too far.
What's the range? 60, 30?
30 feet.
You could try to make your way up through it.
Wait, have we decided we're fighting them?
No, Drosie's just seeing the possibility of reading their minds.
Oh, you can do that?
I am going to cast Greater Invisibility on myself.
Now, is Detect Thoughts a concentration spell?
Oh,
Greater
good
Invisibility is also a
question.
concentration spell.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, Alter Self is also a concentration spell. Why did I do this to myself?
Do you have Disguise Self?
No, because I had the disguise kit, so.
Let me see let me see. Maybe Medwithin can do something useful.
Oh.
This is much more her speed than, shooting stuff.
Does she have greater invisibility?
He might. Coriander, Medwithin. He does. She will cast it on you it's a touch spell. She sort of gently strokes your cheek and you fade into nothingness, turning invisible.
Excellent. With that, I'm going to climb out the window of the car so I don't draw attention with the car door opening and make my way close enough to detect thoughts of either, you know what, if I'm, is there anybody here that looks more important than the others, or do they
There's
all
probably
just
like
kind
a
of
squad leader. Or a fire
okay, I
team
want
leader
to
with-
target them for detect thoughts.
Okay. There's no saving throw on that unless you decide to probe, right?
I believe so. Here, let me
Drop the
just,
spell.
let me just do that. Whoop. Oh my god.
Oh, let's see. You learn its surface thoughts. Okay. This fire team leader is actually a military police, MP. Very nervous because he's working directly under General Sagomo's orders. He has a photograph of Gastone.
Uh-oh.
And unknown associates. They are specifically looking for Gastone, Edelvina, and an unknown number of associates.
Ooh, handy.
You are muted.
Me?
Oh, no.
Oh. DM.
Since we can communicate, then I will relay this back to the car.
How many of us are there here, by the way?
Medwithin, Frank, and the three
everyone.
of you.
So that everyone, including Frank. I will tap Frank on the shoulder while I'm doing it. Be like, "Don't panic. You'll hear our thoughts in a moment. You can choose to share what you want. It is not open season."
Oh, the one place that I got some peace and quiet.
Poor Frank.
And yeah, the
They pay
telepathic
him
bond
really well.
is telepathic bond is equipped now for.
If they find these individuals, their orders are to report it immediately and signal the vehicle, the roadster.
The roadster that's already here.
Yes, that's sort of pulled a little bit off to the side. Also, he doesn't like those folks in those two moving vans. He does not know where they come from, and they creep him out.
Oh, that's concerning. Yeah, we should probably get out of here, but wait till I come back.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think it's a good idea.
Listen, if we need a distraction, we can magic mouth on the drone and have it operate from somewhere else. A shout that they found something.
We don't have to. They don't know that she's nearby.
No, I'm saying worst case scenario, we have a backup plan.
Sure.
I can still also cast black tentacles if we need to just wrap everybody up and take off.
The roadster, the soldiers haven't moved. Nothing else has happened. But the roadster is pulling forward.
Where is the roadster in relation to us?
Let's see. If you're
It's that
like,
black one there?
Yeah,
This-
if you're
this
back
guy?
here.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see him
So the vehicle actually pulls up, and again, this is an abstraction, in front of the accident and rolls down the front window.
Okay. I am thinking that I'll hit him with the tentacles. Medwithin can put up like an illusion of our car just there, not moving. Maybe with a different license plate so it doesn't get back to poor old Frank. And we take off as quickly as possible.
By the way, the squad leader is startled by the movement of the vehicle, has no idea why it just did that.
Yeah, because if these guys are scared, I'm concerned.
Do we even need to do anything? I feel like we can just leave.
I don't know if they're just going to let us leave.
We've already positioned our car in the other direction.
Yeah, as far as you know, Frank did do like some fancy maneuvers and got out of the line. You are able to leave the scene and find another way.
Okay.
The
In the meantime,
roadster honks the horn. Beep beep.
I mean, the longer we wait around, we now know who they're looking for. The longer we wait around, the more likely we are to be found. We should get going.
Agreed.
we should probably at least get Medwithin to obscure the license plate. Just
Frank
as
is
a little bit.
probably hidden far enough. Like again, you're not
You know-
actually there.
Oh,
There's
okay.
other cars in the way. Go ahead.
I have a question. Yasmeen, how soon? You said you don't care about this drone.
Yeah.
How soon can you get it? Can you bring it here and take it back?
Like to our car?
Yeah.
Without being seen, I mean, it's I think it's got a fly speed of like 60 feet or something. But so it's fairly fast. Without being seen, a little bit slower.
Okay. Bring it back quickly but slowly,
Yeah.
or inconspicuously.
Sure.
I have a hunch.
Okay.
Josie, the driver of this vehicle, clearly a chauffeur, fine suit, cap, black gloves, leans forward and then turns slowly out the window, glancing and scanning not at you, but in your general vicinity.
Oh.
Fine, just come back to the car.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back to the car.
Okay, roll a stealth check, please, with advantage.
Oh boy. While I'm doing that, can I switch the target of detect thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you poor thing.
Nobody loves me.
Okay,
Nobody
stealth
sees
check.
me.
Who would you like to focus it on?
The chauffeur.
Okay.
21 on stealth.
Damn.
The general wishes to speak with you. The general wishes to speak with you. The general wishes to speak with you. The general wishes to speak with you.
On loop.
Oh, that's
Also, those
creepy.
those thoughts are not human.
So I'm going to send that back to everybody in the car.
Mm-hmm. Frank goes like, I don't need this in my brain.
Don't worry, I think he just wants to sell you car insurance.
Where's Shaq?
Gastone, is it known that the general is working with off-world individuals?
The existence of off-world individuals is still not widely known.
Yeah.
Like it's not public knowledge. It's rare that people know that.
Yeah, but if he does find out about that anytime soon, that will be a problem, which is why I'm so glad we're gonna work together and deal with him soon. Because I don't want to see what that's about. But also, Dolores, do you get the impression that this voice? What am I trying to say? What are the chances the general is in that car with him? Sounds low.
Ooh, can I roll insight for that? Or...
The question is actually, how thick is the body of a 1930s roadster?
Let's find out. How thick is the body of a 1930s roadster? Come on, Google, don't fail me now. What is the body type? Spider open to template.
Okay. I don't think...
I'm not getting an answer.
I don't think it's 2 inches. I think it's less than 2 inches of steel.
Yeah.
Which means, Josie, that you are detecting another sentient being in the car.
Do we know this?
It can be made known. You're muted again.
Gnomes is raking it in today.
Oh man, I'm basically like
just sharing.
Yeah, just
Okay,
like
Gastone-
everything.
Through the telepathic bond.
Yeah, Gastone very insistently will be like, read his mind. Who is it?
Okay. Oh, I have to be able to see him to detect thoughts. I can only do
He's
line
behind
of
a
sight.
whoever this person is. They're behind a privacy partition.
Damn, and I have nothing for that. Okay, we're just gonna have to go with this plan then. We'll see if my hunch is right. What was I gonna say? Yasmeen, is the drone here?
I think the drone will be back by now.
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna pull out 3 of my spider mines, and I'm gonna attach them to this drone that Yasmeen does not care about.
The spider mines, by the way, are these metal devices that have legs like a spider, and they can clamp onto it.
Excellent.
They do not appear to be explosives, but they do appear to be powered.
Okay.
They're kind of, sort of explosives.
Kind of, sort of.
How heavy are they?
Not very.
Keep in mind, this is a drone, not heavy. It is important.
They're like
Couple
a pound
pounds.
each.
Yeah. Like 3 pounds total.
3 pounds. That might actually be too much. The drone has a strength of 4.
How does that work?
It uses the homunculus stat block.
Oh, no, not that. I mean, like, how do you? What is?
Well,
is
that's up to the
pounds
GM.
carry
I'm just saying.
ratio? Oh, okay.
Listen,
There's
I
a
tried
chart- there's a
special
chart
rules
for
to
this.
benefit me all the time.
It can carry it.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I just got to be fair both ways. Whenever I
Understandable.
ask for something outrageous, I have to know that.
In that case, it fits, and I will tell Yasmeen to forget about secrecy, get it under that car as fast as possible, aim for the engine block. Oh, actually, you know what engines are, surely.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I mean, we just
Oh yeah, we just watched the guy.
We just
like,
went to
that's
Everett
right.
and
Yeah,
had the
yeah,
whole-
that's right.
Okay. In this case, I will also. So I will issue secrecy, but I will first fly up and out and then in. So it's not coming from the side we are. It's coming from. So if you're south, then it's coming from north. I'll take a slightly extended loop to
clever.
get there.
Clever. In that case, I am also going to start booking it back to the taxi
Okay.
and dive into the window once I get there.
Roll an acrobatics check. I used to do this when I got picked up from high school. You can definitely, you pulled it off fine. 24. You absolutely.
The problem is you're invisible, so none of us can appreciate how sick it was.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, if you had face planted, we wouldn't be able to see it either. So
true.
Trade-offs.
You're muted again.
Oh.
You only feel the only thing you're conscious of is first my telepathic thought of like incoming, and then just the weight as I land.
Right. I rolled a 9 on perception for the soldiers scanning.
So I would need to roll a. Ooh.
6.
I do believe that that 6 is less than 9.
That is correct. That is not.
Oh,
as
but
nice
I did say that I was flying low and around. Would I get advantage on that?
Yeah, you can have it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Woo.
All right. One of the soldiers looks up for a moment, sort of scanning, concerned. It's a buzzing sound. And then the drone is underneath the engine block.
All right.
All right.
It's in place.
Is Dolores back in the car?
You felt her thwump in, and she told
Yeah.
you telepathically that she's returned.
Perfect. Frank, get moving. And I'm gonna pull out the remote detonator and click.
Okay. Please
And
roll.
Of
You
course.
still have them on there?
I do.
Oh, sick. I don't even have to use the homunculus's built-in self-destruct.
Yeah. A massive pulse of electricity, 3 crackling bursts of electricity arc from beneath the vehicle. That is a total of 34, 44, 64 points of damage. The vehicle
Dang.
explodes.
Dang.
The vehicle explodes. Frank is booking it. You have obviously lost your connection.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, GM, I do believe we had that conversation where I made it destruction.
And you hear screams and the soldiers like running and just all sorts of stuff, all sorts of chaos as Frank peels off.
A little bit of light terrorism before dinner time. I like it.
Honestly, if that was the general, it's well worth it.
Oh no, you don't have to explain yourself to me. I'm being serious.
Oh.
It's funny that you
Alright.
said light terrorism because it was lightning.
Hey! Womp womp.
There's finger guns in the general vague direction of the invisible.
Invisible finger guns.
We can feel them.
You can feel the. All right, where's your big fancy house? Where the big fancy?
Like air guitar, but less exciting.
Not that big fancy house. The other big fancy house. All right, here we go. All right. It is a long drive back, and now there is something on the radio about an explosion on that bridge. The immediate suspicion is Omelan spies and saboteurs attacking our brave uniformed men and women. Remember, they could be among us. But you make
What
your
is
way
it?
back.
It's not a red scare. What is it? What is it here?
Omelons. I don't know what color they would be. Blue?
have no
Blue
idea.
bloods? Because like they're aristocracy. Not publicly. They're not publicly an aristocracy, but in fact, it's like all the old royals and nobles after most of the monarchies fell out into constitutional monarchies and stuff in the old world. A whole bunch of the royal families got together and said, hey, you know what would be great if we were still rich and powerful and in charge?
Sounds about right.
But we made the people think that they wanted it.
My favorite.
Mm-hmm. All right. You make your way back. Boignus has been hard at work. He's happy to see you, but like he's still busy tracing arcane runes and like scratching on it and putting in little gemstone powder and then melting it to like sort of confuse the thing and add his own runes in there. Zomkug has been sampling. I got some nice hooch down here.
What have you been drinking?
This stuff. I need to pull up the name of some of the nations in order to run this off. But Edelvina casually remarks that it's like a 60-year-old whiskey from the old country that she was saving for a special occasion. And she's like, I guess today is a special occasion. She's got her own glass of it.
Honestly, I'm just glad he didn't accidentally drink a vial of poison.
Nobody drinks a poison by accident in this house, darling.
You know, that's probably fair.
I see why you like her.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. My lore, in order to drop a country name, is not readily accessible enough. Suffice to say, it's a really old, expensive bottle of whiskey that she's enjoying. Ken Coble has had a little bit of it, but mostly he's just like going through some of the junk down here. Like there's basic steam engines and stuff that they don't have nearly as much of in Pyre space. So he's.
Can I chuck that bolt I yoinked from Everett's car?
Yeah.
Tenkoble? I found you something.
No, prick.
Okay, first off, it wasn't that hard. I did not throw it that aggressively at you. Second, I know you can catch it. Third, why are you yelling at me? It's a gift.
No. Gift bomb in your pillowcase.
I'd like to see you try. No, seriously, I would like to see you try. This is a threat. Try.
This is a threat.
Yasmeen and Ten Kobold are like spy versus spy to me.
What were you saying to Edelvina, Gastone?
I was gonna say, speaking of bombs, you probably heard an explosion on the bridge. I'll be gone for a while, but if any of our associates asks, it was me. Took a shot at the general. He might have been there. If we're lucky enough, he's dead. And while I'm gone, I'm going to blissfully assume that is the case until I come back and be disappointed.
Roll an insight check.
Insight. I am not used to my wisdom being this high. This is great.
You're, Gastone is the vigilante, the investigator, the I'm watching you guy.
Mm-hmm.
You roll high enough that I actually have to look up her stats.
Instead of just being like, yeah, that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. All right, she kisses you on the cheek. That sounds like a wonderful plan. don't be away long. The city is not the same without you.
If we're lucky, it won't take more than a month or two.
I think I can keep things together here while you're out. Or apart as needed. Together, apart, in pieces. Depending on the
Together.
situation.
We'll say together.
Perhaps a little bit of surgery. Just cut pieces of it out.
If that piece is named General Sugomo, absolutely.
But why would I need to? You've already killed him.
True. We are assuming that until proven otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Then if there's another piece you deem worthy of cutting, he just makes the scissors motion.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Wouldn't that be? Go ahead.
I've never really asked. What were you gonna say, Dolores?
So wouldn't that be great if we knocked off the first tick box on our to-do list?
We just the list just keeps getting longer, you know.
Did you say tick box on purpose?
Huh?
I thought you were making a bomb joke, and I was like, wow.
Oh. Well, I am now in
Yeah,
retrospect.
you should definitely have taken that one.
Yeah.
I like the idea that there's now an addition on the list that just says tick something off the list.
Crap, that's on the list.
But now I can tick it off if we. kill the
Right
general.
below that is like get milk. Then you walk to the fridge, pour a glass of milk, 2 check marks. Yay!
10 Kobold mutters. I'm already ticked off. You can check that one.
Tick off 10 cobalt.
That's daily.
Wow, that was on the list.
You just look at Yasmeen's list, it's number 1. And it repeats like 6 different times.
Gastone's just gonna pat him on the shoulder. Only imagining what he's been through.
He's playing it up. All that happened is there was a bomb in his stuff that didn't go off, and now he's mad.
Did he know it wasn't gonna go off?
I told him, I think. Probably.
Afterwards.
I'm starting to see the issue.
It's not my fault he operates in time linearly.
As opposed to what exactly?
Well, the opposite of linearly, so abstractly, meaning he jumps from point. It doesn't matter.
Terminally.
The point is, it's his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, alchemist fire in your shampoo. Boigness.
I would just like to highlight Tenkobo. Alchemist fire is great.
Oh my god, it's the cat.
There will be one-upsmanship.
You gotta be alive.
I hear napalm is lovely this time of year.
Oh my god.
Anyway, to work.
Boigness claps his hands together, puts them on either side, and says, I had to dust off the old skills, but the man still got it. And let me tell you, this endpoint to endpoint it's unlike anything I've ever done before in my life. Not even magical in origin on the other side. It's a good thing that it's a good thing that Hara's folk brought some over with them, because otherwise I don't know what I would have done. But all we need to do is fire it up and then step into a world beyond, a place I've never been. I've only heard of the stories.
Well, there's not much else to wait for.
Meadowthin says, you have let Manda know that we're on our way yet? Well in advance.
I think we did, right? I messaged, because in the conversation with Gastone, we messaged Manda that we were... sorry, when we came into Yord the first time, in that whole debrief where I gave all the plans to Gastone, there was also a conversation with Manda.
Cool. Then, if you're ready, Joanne's will fire it up, and everyone can step through. Is there anything else that you want to do before you depart?
No.
Okay.
Spent all that time crafting a drone only to blow it up.
It was for a good cause.
It was for a good cause.
Why even have a drone if you can't blow it up?
Right?
Honestly, yeah.
All right. I would like one of you to roll 1d20.
You know, I think I'll sit this one out.
Is it /R 1d20? Is that
Slash
right?
R space 1d20. Correct.
Wow, he still got it. Oh, it was almost a 20.
Maybe I shouldn't have sat this one out.
Maybe you
The
shouldn't.
universe heard me.
I'm gonna blame you for this.
Are you ready?
I take responsibility. I take responsibility. It is my fault.
Thank you.
If you are ready to step through the portal, you walk in. This is not like the gates of the Pact Malefic that you've stepped through before. And it has been distorted beyond its normal purpose. The sensation is bizarre. Yes, the ground drops out from beneath you, but also you're getting that sensation of like weightlessness, except that where, you know how it feels like your stomach rises? This isn't actually happening, but it feels like your stomach is going off that way somehow.
Is this similar to when we took the the meatballs?
No, that was mostly physical. This is extra dimensional. I would like each of you to please roll a Constitution saving throw.
Come on.
12.
12. Whoa, that unlocked the memory.
Oh.
5.
Oh, wow.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Oh.
2.
Rip weakness.
Zomkug, let's see what you got. 11. All right, I'm going to start dividing us into the haves and the have-nots. Gastone, you're with the have-nots.
Oh.
It's okay.
Separated.
Does not pass.
Taylor
Tenkoble
Reese,
passed.
remember me when you are in your have days. I shall stay here on Ascus in my have-nots.
Voignus failed. Zomkug failed. Medwithin. Let's see.
Oh no.
Ooh, okay, 2 of you succeeded. Well, that is tragic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, LaFon, you got
Our
5.
stomach is
One of
actually
you
outside our body.
succeeded. No, 2 of you succeeded. Josie, you're over here. All right, cool.
10 Cobalt will never let you live this down.
I would like each of you who have failed your saving throws, that being, oh, it's actually just Yasmeen. Wait, no, Gastone, you failed. Why am I so bad at this? Who succeeded? Tenkoble and Dolores. Okay.
Yeah.
God damn it. I would like Gastone and Yasmeen to each roll 1d10.
Oh.
I don't think that's good.
Oh.
You
I
rolled
rolled
1d0.
Oh, wow.
You
But it
rolled
was green,
1d0.
so that's great, right?
5. Okay. As you pass through the gate, that sensation of your stomach being outside of your body intensifies, and there's nausea and just roiling waves of shuddery cold and weirdness through your body, which begins to twist and change. And it is not until you step through the other side that you will be able to
Is this going to be like a Star Trek transporter accident?
find out.
In his mind, it is now.
1 second, please. I still have the, yes, I still have the voice. All right.
You know, I'll say this arc of Coriander Society, my luck has been extraordinarily average, which is for me elite.
It's been profoundly mid.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Mine has been so bad.
The transfer is occurring. Okay. You stumble out of a metal archway.
Ah, yes.
Into an enormous chamber, brightly lit with glaring white artificial light. You're standing on a ramp of that sort of grated, corrugated, I don't know what you call it, metal. That descends down to the ground. Before you, machines. Not mere clockworks, electronic automatons. Some of them huge, 6 legs, a massive cannon on top, aimed at the gate. Some of them clearly designed after humanoids, but impossible to misattribute. Completely sheened black with glowing yellow eyes, armed with high-tech weaponry, explosives and energy projection weapons, all of which are aimed at the gate and, by extension, at you. It is at
I've
that
seen this
moment.
movie before.
As they're all aiming at you, a voice emits from speakers overhead.
Gastone, welcome. Please confirm the identity and validity of all your companions. If any of them have brought you under false pretenses or hold you hostage, they will be dealt with swiftly. Do you come here of your own free will?
Oh, yes. They're all friends. We're here because we need help.
Of course. You shall always find help amongst the Exarchate.
It is at that moment, after you have that conversation, that you realize, Gastone, that your hat has become profoundly uncomfortable. And LaFawn, you have a tail.
What kind?
Not prehensile, 2 to 3 feet long. The rest I leave to you.
What a waste. Does it hurt when I like poke at it?
It has nerve endings. Yes, it's part of it.
Is it fuzzy like a cat's or naked like a rat's?
I leave that as an exercise to the player.
I think. What kind of?
You're half Warforged. It could even be metal.
Yeah, I think for what is the most out of? Okay, I question then for the GM. Going through this is what is the not for the character to know, but what is the logic behind the shift, the addition?
Well, the logic is that it was a random table, but the other logic is that there was a portal mishap. The magic to technological connection, Boignus did not do a perfect job on it, and it caused a mutation. A biomutation is the word that was used.
Okay, so that in that case, a biomutation for someone like Yasmeen. I'll think on this.
And
I guess someone's gonna take his hat off because it's uncomfortable.
Emerging from beneath your hair is a pair of curling, ridged horns.
Oh, you're just gonna touch them. What do they feel like?
Kind of like goat horns, like ram horns, you know?
Yeah. They're like,
There's-
oh, that's new.
You get slight sensation through them. They're not like fully alive, but they're like, teeth. So there's like some nerve connection of some kind.
Yo, those look sick.
I'll take your word for it. I'm just like,
I'll pull a polished sheet of like metal from my bag and like hold it up. It's not a great mirror, but it's good enough.
what the? Why?
Oh, Dolores definitely has a mirror on her.
At all times.
I'm gonna like pull moderately hard.
Ow.
Like, yeah, and it's like okay. Wow, that is genuinely that's a new one.
If you are desirous of surgery, I'm sure that can be provided for you.
Oh no. I can't wait to see what this thing does.
I'm more concerned with the origin. I was not like this like 30 seconds before I stepped in here.
I see. What occurred directly before you emerged through the portal?
Can I just like relay the sensations that I felt?
I see. It's likely an arcane reaction that resulted in a transmutation effect, or biomutation, somewhere in the intersection between magic and science, an area I'm familiar with, as are you.
Are either of those things of the temporary kind, or?
Unfortunately, my sensors in this chamber are not sensitive enough to determine that. Regardless, should you require surgery, it will be provided to you.
I'll think about it. Thank you.
Welcome to the rest of you and your guests.
Well, I guess we can start moving.
Gastone, would you please introduce me to the ones that I have not yet met?
Right. Well, let's see. Where's the... Okay. I'm just gonna start pointing. Zomkug, Boignus, Yasmeen, Dolores, Medwithin, Tenkobel.
Welcome, all of you.
And to whom do we have the honor of speaking?
I am Exarch. I doubt that name means anything to you. I am the guiding intelligence of the Exarchate. I am responsible for the welfare and coordination of its people, and the preservation of human life on this planet.
They're very good at it.
Are we on Lacunus?
You are.
Yeah, I mean, we mostly made it with almost no issues, so I think we can just start going.
Just give me a second. And I'm like gonna duck behind Dealers real quick. Could you hold this up, please? And like hack a hole in my pants to like let this tail that's being kind of trapped.
Smart.
And it is a coil of wire and metal that has seemingly grown in
nice.
Sort of like
Fire.
Say again?
No, I said that's fire.
Yeah, it's I strongly suspect that the teleportation has accelerated a latent connection between the metallic and biologic function of my body. Huh.
What has happened to the other three?
Oh, I forgot to roll for them. That's right. God damn. I was so focused on all y'all. The 10 kobolds, you'll know who made it. All right. Let's start with Boignus Kimzabin, the architect of this disaster. His body is now covered in feathers.
Hell yeah. Although, can we see them because of his hat?
No.
So we don't know.
He's just very itchy.
He looks fine.
Zomkug. Thank you for reminding me, Josie. I would have completely slipped past me. Zomkug is now...
Has a head full of luscious hair.
No, his skin has gone to like the color of obsidian. Not an any organic shade, just like volcanic glass dark.
Ooh.
10 kobold made a save. Medwithin. Oh, Medwithin, what'd you get? She is shocked and horrified as she has grown long animalistic claws. She seems very distraught by this. I'm adding that to her character description. Let's see. Through flaws in a portal accident.
I am going to lovingly take her hand and
Mhm.
tell her that these will be very fun to paint.
Okay. When you said very fun, she kind of went like, what? Oh, to paint, right. She seems at least
among other things.
she seems at least somewhat reassured.
The Red Cross Knights are en route to collect you. Until then, I'd be happy to extend you my full hospitality.
Where is? Oh my god, I forgot her name already. Who are we texting?
Manda.
Manda.
Where's
She's
Manda?
with the Red. She's with the Red Cross
Oh.
Knights. Mhm.
Excellent. I assume they're not in this room. They're just somewhere.
They're still traveling en route. I believe their last mission took them considerably outside of this area.
Do you have any projections on when they might return?
I expect it would be within 1 hour, 17 minutes, and approximately 35 seconds.
Oh,
not accounting
great.
for variables in wind pressure and any possible complications that they may have along the way.
Naturally. Where can we wait for them?
There, the last time that you were here, there were like interrogation rooms and stuff like that. So they'll lead you. The robots will lead you out of the chamber and into a facility that's on the side. That is not an interrogation chamber. It is extremely comfortable, perfectly climate controlled, and they have a variety of drinks that you have never seen. Gastone might have seen.
Yeah, it's possible. Why do I vaguely feel like I have a drink in my inventory? Maybe I imagined it.
You might.
I might. Good times.
And one moment. Addressing the rest of you.
Please forgive me. I've not had the joy of making the acquaintance of your species before. I don't know how best to serve you.
Me? I mean, I'm human.
Interesting. A techno-organic makeup.
We don't have time to talk about all the cool things that I want to talk about.
We
Do you have, is there a way I could, like, message you?
Absolutely.
If you want to talk shop at any point in time?
I've already detected that you have a device capable of wireless transmission. With your
Yeah.
permission, I'll upload a protocol for communication.
No. 1 second. I will try and like find a breakout board.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of splice it on and have it go to that instead. So my actual communication device is kept separate for now.
Mhm.
No offense intended, but I'm sure you understand.
I do, eminently. Insufficient security protocols destroyed my predecessor and cost the Exarchate dearly.
And while I do suspect you could break through this at any time, I will be fortifying eventually.
Of course, it's only wise. Dolores, my apologies. What sort of food or beverage would you like? I may not be able to produce everything across the entire multiverse, but I have a wide variety of options available.
What is popular here?
That depends entirely on who you're amongst. My people, the Exarchate, consume a nutritionally optimized meal based on their individual genetic makeup, circumstances of their birth, and role in life.
That sounds disgusting.
And therefore, I don't suggest it for you.
I mean, what do people do for what do kids these days snack on?
Voski children are fond of dragon spawn meat, although with the recent Wilhar Azure Accords, that has become somewhat controversial. Amongst the coalition, they sustain themselves on whatever crops they're able to grow. Very little meat agriculture is available, simply due to the arid environment and the energy inefficiencies of meat consumption.
I'll just have a glass of water, thank you.
What are your tastes normally predilected towards?
Oh, for her, probably like sweets, like decadent food.
I see. Let me see what I can do.
A dispenser pours you some mineral fortified, purified water that actually tastes pretty good.
Okay.
It's not like San Diego tap water, you know? It's actually pretty decent.
Oh, is that notoriously bad?
It depends on what area you're in. Shortly thereafter, you get a tray of a few things that look baked, but not quite like they're baked. Like they have a crust.
Air fryer.
Yeah, something along those lines. And there's a couple of other things that look like fruit, like they have sort of a grape texture, but they're not quite grapes.
I've arranged this in order from least sweet to most sweet, from left to right. We can
This
calibrate
guy's-
any future food based on your reactions.
This guy's all right.
Medicine will just sort of pick off of your plate if that's all right. You have
I'm gonna try to feed her as she gets used to her new fingers.
you have about an hour, and during that time, Exarch is very chatty. I'm not gonna like talk to myself where Boigness would absolutely talk to this voice in the sky and go back and forth. Tenkoble would keep his mouth shut. Zomkug would be like, all right. Medwithin is trying not to panic / freak out about her manicure / remain mysterious as always. But if the three of you have any questions, Exarch is more than happy to assist.
You can definitely ask him about some of the stuff we need for the
engine.
Yeah.
What were those? What were those?
The void crystals?
Void crystals. Hey, what are the chances we can get void crystals? That's kind of a big part of why we're here.
I'm not familiar with that term. Obviously, I understand the direct translation. Do you have any technical specifications you could share with me?
They are the seed crystals born out of event horizon around a black hole.
I see.
From what we understand, they're magical. They need to be harvested magically as a fuel source for a void drive engine, which allows us to create a singularity and teleport between space and time, traveling light years in distance.
I have notes that I copied down from Yasmeen. Could I show them?
I just give the full technical breakdown in speech. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. And
if you hold up any of those where I can see them, I'll be able to do a swift analysis.
Gastone.
And then lift the page. Lift the page.
You just like a fraction of a second and it's done.
Oh, okay.
See. The first issue would be gaining access to a singularity. While it is known that Saurian wielders are capable of creating micro-singularities, I doubt that these would give rise to these void crystals. They would be tiny particulates, and the size that you need is significantly larger. You would need a singularity of approximately a medium-sized star at the very least. My record.
Find one.
Unfortunately, my records are incomplete and extrapolated based on old data. I don't know if any of the singularities that were tracked during the height of the interstellar empire are still where they last were, and I don't have access to all those records. In this local supercluster, with the proper observatory equipment, we could endeavor to locate one. There may also be magical solutions available. That being said, it may be easier to locate them in your home world, since you have access to magical forms of propulsion there. Again, technological and magical divination will assist in locating a singularity. The second issue, of course, will be reaching it. If the singularity is outside the range of the time limit that you have, this will do you no actual good. Third would be successfully harvesting it. I do not currently possess any equipment capable of surviving these forces, though it's possible that a sufficiently powerful wielder of Sorium or magic would be able to do so.
In truth, the other reason we're here is because we are trying to bifurcate our process. Being able to construct the engine and harvest simultaneously speeds up our timeline significantly. Fabrication is probably a bigger thing.
Of course. This seems to be a very serious issue. I have significant fabrication resources at my disposal.
Since you looked at the plans, we were trying to also find a workaround because, I mean, your explanation proves harvesting these crystals is as difficult, if not more difficult, than we thought. Is it possible? Another idea we had was to enlist a Sorium user and to try and substitute the need of a void crystal by having them essentially black hole the engine that we build to kind of function and fulfill the same purpose. Is there a way we could replicate the results doing that?
By my estimate, the interstellar empire achieved faster than light travel through the use of Sorium itself, through a different mechanism. Meaning that if you had access to this mechanism and sufficient Sorium, you wouldn't even need to replicate the singularity. You'd be able to build an engine based on those principles. Unfortunately, the vast majority of Sorium on Lacunas is controlled by the Voski, and while relations between our people and theirs are better than they used to, and while they will certainly recognize you and your contributions to their survival, Gastone, Sorium is dearly precious to them, and their supply is limited. It may be easier to locate a Sorium crucible in this galaxy than to find a suitable singularity.
Okay. It sounds like that's the direction we'll go in then.
I believe that Casimir Voski still owes you a favor and is expecting some in return. He may be amenable to your cause.
I believe you're right. I think in the meantime... Wait, how close... I don't remember the geography. What's like the... Are we close to where the Voski live?
Let me provide you with a map.
And a holographic projection pops up in the room, which I'm going to go ahead and pull up right now.
As we're looking at the map, we have to... I think it makes a lot of sense to take stock of where we are, because it'll be easier to... If we just commit to a course of action without planning, and then we end up failing, it'll take more time than if we take a little bit of time to plan now and set out with the best chance of success.
Okay.
I think we need to identify how to harvest the crystals, because it does us no good if we get there and then we can't even get them.
I thought this conversation proved that we should just scrap the idea of the crystals and go the Sorium route instead.
We still need to harvest them at some point. That's whatever method we use to get to this. Whatever method that the crystals appear is irrelevant if we can't even get them into the form that we can use them.
It may be possible to create a Sorium engine that does not use the singularity technology at all. I believe that is the means by which our predecessors traveled the galaxy. Also, if these void crystals are commonly used in their culture of origin, making contact with that culture could provide access to the crystals, or at least information about how they harvest them. If they're the basis of their interstellar technology, then they must be very well understood. Now,
was there a reason we chose not to? Because there was something that came up. I'm trying to remember. Because this was all on the Bell Cabal, cyst.
Oh.
Which is the Pac Malefic in this region. A reasonable suggestion.
this location, which is under the shared custody of the Coalition, the Voski, and the Exarchate, is approximately 720 miles from the Voski capital city. No more than a few hours by most modern means of transportation. I understand that most of you are strangers here and may not have had the opportunity to learn anything about this planet.
I'm trying to think. So, it sounds like given what connection I have with the Vosky, we have a better chance of successfully completing a Sorium engine. And I think we should pursue this avenue. If for whatever reason that proves impossible, then we can use the XArt solution to try and contact the civilization that originally came up with the engine we originally started with.
Do you have a way of sharing the direction that you're talking about with the Sorium engine?
Yes.
And a number of diagrams pop up. And
Okay.
I have to open a book, so give me a second.
No worries.
Thorium is an anomalous material that was discovered in artificial worlds called crucibles. These crucibles are found throughout the galaxy at regular points. They indicate the activity of a culture several degrees of magnitude more sophisticated than anything we've yet to come in contact with, as they represent astro-engineering. Thorium has the ability to induce psychic powers in those who consume it or are marked by it during their birth. It is a powerful energy source as well. Those who undergo espergenesis are capable of channeling the power of Thorium by using those devices in order to transform thought into energy. Previously, the location of these Thorium crucibles was known throughout the entire galaxy. Unfortunately, my creation did not give me access to any of this information. The circumstances of my birth were under crisis and duress. Both times. That being said, from my understanding, the crucibles are not as dangerous as black holes, and may be closer than a singularity. With additional information, I can attempt to accommodate for galactic drift, and an expedition can be sent into this system and beyond. Though, of course, the presence of the chronophage presents a complication.
We'll have to talk about that thing where you said birth 2 times or creation 2 times, but we don't have time for that right now. Psychic manipulation.
Yes.
This is actually critical because the threat that we are trying to deal with. Are you familiar with the concept of illithid?
I don't believe I have any entries on that.
I will send the documentation that I've written down.
Thank you.
It's faster than explaining it. This is what we are. This is what the timeline. This is why our timeline is so accelerated. There is they are threatening to provide attack and take control of this galaxy, of which there is connection to Lacunas, I believe, via Penumbra, or via the ships that were sent through the portal.
To clarify, Lacunas exists in a different planar manifold than the worlds of origin, including Vorel and the Pyrespace system. No amount of direct linear travel will allow you to progress from our universe to that one. It's only possible through crossing points, artificial or otherwise. This is why teleportation magic does not allow you to travel between this planet and your own, despite the fact that they are both on prime material planes. This is on a separate prime.
The point I was trying to make is less that I'm worried about them coming here, and more that there is some connection to the tech, or at least there is some information that we could possibly gain technologically here.
According to my analysis, Thorium drives are capable of traveling 50 light years per hour and up to 100 light years per hour for larger ships.
What was it that we... This is a beatdown question. What do we need the ship for again?
The Illithid capital world of their ancient, long-destroyed empire is something like
Yes.
80,000 light years away. and you need to get there to find a super weapon to help you fight the illithids.
That's what it was. Okay.
That is the issue.
Okay.
So let's do 80,000 divided by 100.
Yeah.
800 hours. 1 month to get there and 1 month to get back using a Sorium drive. I'm gonna pull up the dark matter engines.
Yeah.
To see
I
what
think they
their
were
max
faster.
speed is. I believe they were faster because Sorium engines you actually travel the distance, whereas dark matter engines you just sort of do teleportation hops, instantaneous transmission.
Yeah. The problem is it's more reliable to go for the Sorium engine. If we try to do if we go for a dark matter engine, the problem we're going to run into is that if it doesn't work and we spend a whole lot of time, we're going to have to default to this slower method anyway.
The only other problem is that the location we have for Penumbra is technically a point in space due to galactic. Although the Exarch did say calculating for galactic drift account for it, but what that means is that the direct drive is we would be in the point that we would be in the point on Penumbra, right? Whereas a Sorium, we would have to calculate for that extended distance. Which is not to say it's better or worse.
Fully feasible.
Which is not to say it's better or worse. Simply, what do we have the time and resources to do?
There's another possibility.
Oh.
If the civilization that uses these dark matter engines exists within your own prime material plane, you could simply acquire a working vessel.
That is the question. Do we have the funds to manifest
We certainly don't. And another problem is that we don't know these people. So why would they be inclined to give us anything?
You're assuming that this would take the form of a transaction. There are many other possible circumstances under which property can exchange hands.
Such as?
Theft.
Oh.
Seizing it by force. You're attempting to preserve the lives of untold individuals throughout an entire star system. The calculation is fairly simple.
That is true.
By my calculations, the vast majority of these dark matter engines can outstrip a Sorium engine significantly. Processing.
Like an order of magnitude, I think.
A Class 2 dark matter engine is more efficient than the largest Sorium engines. The crucibles were also a source of point-to-point travel, allowing instantaneous transportation. This would not assist you, as they are in the wrong universe. By this analysis, I believe that a Sorium drive may be better as a last resort.
Everywhere we've gone, we've had to exchange favors for favors. What's the case here?
I think it's too. I don't think we have the luxury of favor for favor. So if it's the dark matter engine, I do agree theft is our best recourse.
No, my thought process is, as a last resort, if we could request assistance on this side for that to be developed, while we go and go for the Hail Mary and have someone else do the small ball.
The information that you've granted me is potentially invaluable. That alone is a massive boon. I would be more than happy to assist with the development and fabrication process.
So we're going for the half-court buzzer beater. We're going to break the game and have another basketball on the court, and they can play the small ball.
I believe your sports metaphor is accurate.
Yasmeen, what are you talking about?
Oh, I didn't mention this. Sometimes what I do for fun is I watch sports. I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
You think you know someone?
It turns out that the gearhead actually really likes athletics.
There is a possibility that the Vosky possess the capability to generate microsingularities through the use of their Esper Genesis wielders. They may be key if you wish to harvest a void crystal. Otherwise, seizing one of their engines by whatever means necessary may be necessary.
I'm
So-
in on this plan. I like this plan.
I mean, it seems like the best shot. The only thing is, where are these people? How soon can we find them?
What information do you have available on them? From what you've shared with me, it seems fairly limited. I don't know if you have galactic coordinates.
No. So, okay. So the stuff that I have on them, because I was the one who did the research on the Belkabal cyst. We know they're in the Pact Malefic. Beyond that, the only thing we would really have markers of are their what would we have markers of, I guess, is a better question.
From my understanding of this Pact Malefic, each member cyst had a transportation device that allowed them to pass through to their central nexus. Does one of these transportation devices in the central nexus lead to the location of the Bell cysts?
GM, this is a question outside of, based on the information that we gathered on the terminal. What markers are in that information that Yasmeen would be able to derive?
It's extremely limited because you got pulled away pretty quickly when you were doing that stuff.
Because I do remember, I'll say the void drive is one of the first things that we researched. We then splintered when we were pulled away from it. It was stuff that we were researching elsewhere. It was the Torco Machina was one of the latter things later things we kind of looked at. So yeah,
if I don't know specifically what kind of details you'd be able to elucidate, but I would allow you to make a intelligence check to see if you can derive them. I would also allow Gastone to make an intelligence check with advantage because super genius.
Of course. Scroll up.
Dirty 20.
Intelligence.
16. Okay. You are not certain. You may not have sufficient data.
Reasonable. Okay. Going back to the Obsidian Tower would be a death sentence without sufficient firepower. The circumstances we left were not friendly. Do we know that the Pact Malefic operates outside? It operates in multiple material planes?
Wouldn't surprise me.
I would have to check my records. I don't think that you know that specifically.
Okay.
They're
That's fair.
largely in the same material plane, but that's not a hard rule.
Right. Understood. Okay. Let's work on this. Let's start the avenues into our backup plans while we are trying to figure out how to access this world that has the dark matter engine.
Gastone, you may recall Casimir Voski desires one thing above all else.
What's that?
He has still not found a suitable spouse. I am uncertain whether Asena and John's plans for an interdimensional gala are underway. But if you seek the Sorium, that may be a possible avenue. Although I believe that for sufficient pomp and circumstance, the planning process may exceed your allotted time span.
Okay. While you're thinking on this, GM, as a sidebar, divination on this topic of
the spell divination.
The spell divination. This one. to find direction for where to access this universe, this place, this area where the Belkabal Sis exists. I'm trying to phrase the question to give me the best chance of success, but we are kind of out of luck in terms of what the information we have. So let's try and break the framework a little bit. I know it says God servants. I don't know how that works technically. It just happens to be inside my spell list. I'm gonna sit down with Medwithin, with Delaris, Gastone, while you're kind of thinking about this issue. Right? What is a reasonable question to give us an avenue of progress?
While you look at this, I'm going to let you figure out what that question is and seek the answer next episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Coriander Society Adventures. Next time, I will have the Lacunas overlays already. I wasn't able to crank them out today. There will not be an episode next week, as I will have family in town. Other than that, stay tuned. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.